हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला। प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला।
China and Japan are clashing verbally over Taiwan. Tensions between China and Japan have risen over Taiwan's security. Japan has signaled it may intervene in a potential conflict, viewing it as a threat to its own stability. China condemned this as meddling, issuing strong warnings and summoning diplomats. This conflict started when Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, issued a direct warning to China during a session of the country's parliament. She stated that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could represent a survival-threatening situation for Japan, implying that Tokyo might need to intervene militarily to protect its interests. This marked a bold escalation in Japan's stance on the Taiwan issue, signaling readiness to support Taiwan against potential Chinese action. Takaichi's comments, delivered amid rising regional tensions, prompted an immediate and sharp rebuke from Beijing, highlighting the fragile balance in East Asia and the risk of broader confrontation.
The remarks made by the Japanese leader on Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations. Such
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Amid Karnataka power tussle, DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah hold press conference after key breakfast meeting. Siddaramaiah says there is no difference between them. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah say they will abide by High Command's decision and reiterated that the Congress party will return to power in Karnataka in 2028. Public gets inside scoop on Karnataka power tussle. Sources suggest that DK Shivakumar is unwilling to compromise. Airbus grounds 6,000 flights worldwide for urgent software update after JetBlue pitch down scare. Imran Khan's sister Noreen Niazi issues sharp warning over his isolation, denied access and rising tensions, says any harm to him could push Pakistan into chaos. Russian President Vladimir Putin to be on state visit to India for annual summit on the 4th and 5th of December to hold bilateral with Prime Minister Modi. Okay, we start with this edition with some breaking news coming in. These are fresh visuals that are coming in from the state of West Bengal, where leader of opposition Shubhendu Adhikari is holding a rally with his party workers in Kuch Bihar district of North Bengal. What happened earlier, viewers, is that there was a showdown between Shubhendu Adhikari and the Mamata Banerjee police over allegations of the BJP not adhering to instructions or permission given to conduct the rally. Let's go across to my colleague Pinky, who joins me live from on ground. पिंकी, हमें बताइए क्या हो रहा है और क्या हुआ था इसके पहले पुलिस और शुभेंदु अधिकारी के बीच में, बिकॉज वी अंडरस्टैंड कि कुछ क्लैशेस हुए इसके पहले और पुलिस ने ये एलिगेशन लगाया कि परमिशन नहीं दी गई थी शुभेंदु को रैली के लिए।
देखिए, आपको बता दूं कि ये रैली शुरू होने से पहले पुलिस की तरफ से एडिशनल एसपी मंच तैयार किया जा रहा था उसको रोका गया। शुभेंदु अधिकारी आने से पहले ये हुआ था और शुभेंदु अधिकारी उसी लीडर ऑफ ऑपोजिशन जो है उसी ट्रक में जाके उसी मंच में जाके आज भाषण देंगे। कुछ बिहार में चैंगरा बंधा में भाषण देंगे और आप देख सकते हैं शुभेंदु अधिकारी अभी चल रहे हैं और उनको स्वागत करने के लिए आसपास का जो महिलाएं हैं, आसपास का जो कर्मी है, सपोर्टर्स है, वो लोग भी आ गए हैं। शुभेंदु अधिकारी हम लोग के साथ जुड़ गए हैं। हम लोग शुभेंदु अधिकारी के पास जाएंगे। शुभेंदु का क्या कुछ देख रहे हैं क्योंकि लाइव है हम लोगों और ये जो क्रेज है क्यों, मगर इसके पहले हमने देखा कि पुलिस आया था, पुलिस आके आपका जो मंच है वो खोल
पहले तो परमिशन नहीं दिया। यहाँ का बीजेपी जिला अध्यक्ष को श्यामल रॉय को यहाँ जो जलपाईगुड़ी सर्किट बेंच है हाई कोर्ट का वहाँ जाना पड़ा। काल कोर्ट में गवर्नमेंट स्टेट गवर्नमेंट का लॉयर पूरा अपोज किया। बीजेपी के ये लोग कोई मिছিল मीटिंग कार्यक्रम करने नहीं देगा। ये बीजेपी को डरता है और जनता जनार्दन बीजेपी का साथ, मोदी जी का साथ है। वो हाईकोर्ट ने इजाजत दे दिया। उसका बाद आज सुबह से यहाँ ये प्रोग्राम को बंद करने के लिए सीधा सबको उतार दिया। ममता बनर्जी आईपीएस ऑफिसर को भी उतारा, लेकिन हाईकोर्ट का इजाजत और इतना जनता की जनसौलाभ, ये जनता जनार्दन आज साबित कर दिया। ये बंगाल में परिवर्तन का लहर, जय श्री राम का गूंज और माता काली का जयध्वनि का साथ बंगाल में इस बार विकासवादी, राष्ट्रवादी, सुशासन, सुरक्षा देने वाला एक सरकार बनने जा रही है। एक असेंबली में ही देख लीजिए आप किस तरीके से परिवर्तन आनते ही हमें
एक इंटरेस्टिंग
बांग्लादेश पाठाते हमें।
इंटरेस्टिंग सी चीज हुआ। आपके साथ एक महिला मुलाकात करने आए थे, वो फूल देने आए थे, वो तृणमूल सपोर्टर थे, वो खुद बोल रहे सपोर्टर हूँ मगर सपोर्टर है। वो बता रहे हैं कि
उनका कोई सपोर्टर नहीं है।
नहीं, वो आके बता रहे हैं कि मैं तृणमूल का सपोर्टर हूँ मगर शुभेंदु अधिकारी से मुलाकात करने आई थी, मैं उन्हें देखने आई थी।
ये विश्वास हम लोग नेता प्रतिपक्ष के नाते पिछले 5 साल पूरा के पूरा मेहनत और संघर्ष किया। असेंबली का अंदर, असेंबली का बाहर, हर मुद्दे में बीजेपी लड़ाई किया। इसलिए जनता आप समझ गया ये बीजेपी को ही लाना चाहिए। बंगाल में कांग्रेस की स्टेट रिजेक्टेड, सीपीएम का 34 साल का राजत्व देख लिया, टीएमसी का 15 साल देख लिया, बीजेपी का गवर्नमेंट नहीं देखा। इसलिए जितना भी अगल बगल में सरकार है, आसाम से लेकर बिहार से लेकर यहाँ का जितना भी नॉर्थ बंगाल से सटा हुआ सरकार है, आसाम, बिहार, इस तरीके से डेवलपमेंट हो रहा है, लोग देख रहा है।
बॉर्डर है। एसआईआर के सिचुएशन में हकीमपुर चेक पोस्ट से हमने विजुअल्स देखे कैसे बहुत सारे लोग बांग्लादेशी जो इलीगली इंडिया में रह रहे थे वो लोग भाग रहे हैं और सिचुएशन ये है कि बहुत सारे चेक पोस्ट ऐसे हैं जहां से
All right, those were the live visuals that are coming in from Cooch Behar in North Bengal, where the BJP is conducting a rally after the High Court gave nod to Leader of Opposition शुवेंदु अधिकारी seeking permission to conduct a rally. The party has now claimed that the Bengal police earlier obstructed them from carrying out their democratic right of holding a rally, campaigning ahead of the assembly elections. And शुवेंदु Adhikari over there, ladies and gentlemen, has repeatedly claimed that Mamata Banerjee is obstructing the work the principal opposition party in West Bengal, and not allowing party workers to function in the rural areas, claiming complete collapse of law and order in the state. Right, from West Bengal to the national capital, ladies and gentlemen, 19 days on since the 10/11 Delhi blast, the Al-Falah University continues to be at the center of the probe by agencies. Several developments and revelations have surfaced regarding the terror doctors, their network, the university's founder, who is now under the radar of the National Investigation Agency.
In a startling discovery, NIA officials have recovered 18 lakh rupees in cash from the wardrobe of the suspected terrorist Dr. Shaheen. The money was concealed in a simple polythene bag inside room number 22 that belonged to Shaheen. On September 25th, Shaheen purchased a Brezza car using cash. The National Investigation Agency is now trying to determine the source of large sum. During the raid, the NIA also searched Shaheen's locker in the admin block of Al-Falah University campus. Meanwhile, the founder, Jawad Ahmed Siddiqui, is also under huge scrutiny and is believed to have routed funds through a UK-registered company linked to his son, who holds a UK citizenship. The ED has opened a parallel probe into the investment of those funds, suspecting they were obtained by misleading people and laundering money through son's overseas firm. In a separate development, the Delhi blast case continues to expand. The NIA has recorded statements from 30 doctors at Al-Falah Medical College. Those questioned have described the terror Dr. Omar as rude and selective about who entered his room. Investigators recovered 4 videos from Omar's phone. One shows him justifying jihad and human bombs. The other 3 are similar short clips lasting 3 to 5 minutes each. The phone is being analyzed to track down his accomplices. On the other hand, the Delhi police have issued a notice to private hospitals seeking information on doctors who graduated from Pakistan, Bangladesh, the UAE or China are now practicing in the capital. The multiple investigations into the cash stash, alleged fund routing through a university and the Delhi blast case highlight the web of financial and terror links that are now under investigation.
Bharat 1 Minute, brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
And here's a quick check of everything else that is making news. DMK MPs met at the party headquarters under the leadership of Chief Minister and DMK President MK Stalin. The meeting was convened to review the work reports submitted by the MPs. Issues related to the SIR along with the overall performance of the MPs will also be discussed during the meet. 12 Bangladeshi nationals and 1 Indian citizen were arrested by Islampur police after a raid in Char Gopalpur village under Hurshi Gram Panchayat. The arrests were based on information from a confidential source indicating that foreign nationals were being sheltered in the area without documentation. The Rouse Avenue Court in the national capital adjourned the passing of its order on whether to take cognizance of the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet in the National Herald money laundering case. The court will now pronounce its order on 16th of December. Viewers, what is exactly happening in Karnataka, Republic Kannada, and our top focus remains on the key breakfast meeting that took place between Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah at the latter's residence early this morning amid the ongoing tussle for the chief ministerial post in the state. Republic has the inside scoop over the meeting, where sources have now told us that D.K. Shivakumar is unwilling to compromise and Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has taken a hard line over the issue. This even as both sides claim that all is well within the party. This is something that they said on record post the breakfast meeting in a press conference.
Would you like to give them a message today?
I don't want whatever message we have to give. We have given myself and the Honorable Chief Minister, both of us has given to the entire congressmen in this country, and whoever want to look at it, we abide by it, we stand by it. We are committed on it.
So yesterday you said that there are many issues of the state to be discussed. You will be going to Delhi.
Of course. Myself, CM will discuss. We have to make a strategy whether how many of us has to go. But I have a lot of issues on here, especially on aviation and urban development. I will have to go. I will have to fix the time with the central ministers also. All of a sudden I can't go. I have to discuss with the central ministers. We wanted to call all-party meeting, myself Chief Minister, because on this maize issue, we want to discuss, we want to take a all-party delegation on this sugar cane and maize and some other issues connected to the state. And by God with the blessings of the Almighty, the court has given us an opportunity. Whatever High Command tells, you will obey it. Sir, at least you understood it or not? This is my reply to your question.
Sir, status quo till assembly is over.
See, we go together. There are no differences between me and DGCA Kumar. We face the election, assembly. We have worked out a strategy how to face the BJP and JDS.
Now on to news from Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen. Imran Khan's sister Alima has filed a contempt of court petition in the Islamabad High Court against the Adiala jail superintendent and others for not being allowed to meet Pakistan's jailed former Prime Minister and his brother Imran Khan. Alima filed the petition in the presence of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa Chief Minister Sohail Afridi and other leaders of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf. Republic TV has gotten more exclusive responses from Imran's sister, wherein now she has essentially gone on to directly make an allegation against the Chief Justice of the court, saying that he cannot allow this kind of anarchy to rule the state. Listen in.
Meet him. The party is worried, they want to meet him. But I said that the reason I feel he's safe, only because they would not dare touch a hair on his head. Because they know exactly what's going to happen to them if they do that. The anger in Pakistan is building up, and you don't want anarchy. When they say, people asking...
So you do currently feel that he is safe?
Only because I feel they wouldn't dare do it. That's the only reason my feeling is. That they know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen if they dare do that. This Noon League who's saying that, maybe he's already gone. If they dare talk like that, they're not going to be safe in this country. And there's no plane that they can take and fly away anywhere and expect themselves to be safe if they dare touch him. So that's why I say they dare not do it. That's the only reason. Because we don't have proof. We have no information, nothing from jail. Who do we talk to? That's why we come to a judge. And if there's no emergency, he doesn't feel it's urgent enough, that he doesn't want to meet any of us. All we said is, he gets up from court and leaves. So where do we go? We don't know where to go. I think now we keep filing petitions. There are hundreds of petitions that we are filing in front of this judge, in front of Supreme Court also. Contempt of court. We are filing for contempt of court. Normally, in a year earlier or 2 years earlier, we used to see if this was a contempt of court, the judge would be so upset, the police would be worried that they had to obey the orders of the judges, right?
Yes.
Police was worried, officers in the government were worried, the executive was worried, because the judge would hold them in front of them and say, you will not, if you uttered a word against any decision, the judge would call you in for a contempt of court. Right now, the policeman says, what court orders? And throws it out. He says, I don't believe in court orders. Full bench court orders, police has no value for it. And he's not protecting the chair, the responsibility he has as Chief Justice. It's not him personally, it's the chair of the Chief Justice, which is justice for the people of Pakistan. And he cannot allow this sort of anarchy to brew it within the country. It's his job, it's his duty to protect the rule of law, to uphold it. And that's, we are worried because then it'll be, you're heading towards anarchic situation. It's anarchic. I mean, if people take law into their own hands, it's very dangerous for Pakistan. And that should never be, that should not happen. But what do you do next? Imran Khan not being allowed to meet.
But by saying that, do you not feel like you're also tacitly suggesting something to people? Because you're saying...
I'm telling you, I'm also going to be. They'd better worry about me if they touch my brother. I'll be the first one standing in line. That's what the emotions are. How dare you try to suggest even that you want to kill him in jail? Like, that's murder. So, and
but
where
I don't
do
think
I
anyone
go?
is suggesting that, though, are they, at the moment? I mean, I know that they're sort of...
they are.
Well, no, I know that
Tacitly, they're trying to say, I think he's gone, and why would they say this?
But who's saying that? Apart from media that's coming from India?
No, the political. The political member of the government. Political member said that, right? In assembly.
Thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
All right, viewers, that's it on this edition of Live and Breaking. But do stay on with us, because on the other side, we'll get you that response, that exclusive response of Noreen Niazi on Republic TV. And do watch her warning to Asim Munir. Stay with us.
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात।
वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है?
अरे मेरे राजा,
मसाला।
So in the past, we would see most of the terrorists who would get arrested, they would be like the people who would be working at a very low level. But today we have seen the white collar suspect.
कश्मीर घाटी में डॉक्टर्स एक बहुत अल्टीमेट ड्रीम होता है वहां के लड़के लड़कियों का। उस बनने के बावजूद अगर आप रेडिकलाइज होकर अपने ही देशवासियों को मारने के लिए और अपने देश को तोड़ने के लिए तैयार हो सकते हैं, तो आप अंदाजा लगाइए किस तरह की रेडिकलाइजेशन हो रही है और इस फ्रंट पे हम क्या काम कर रहे हैं।
Investigators have identified Maulvi Irfan Wagha, also known as Imam Irfan, from Shopian in South Kashmir, as the mastermind who blended his dual identity, that of a preacher and healthcare worker, to influence and radicalize the educated youth.
The accusation against him is completely baseless. He had been there for 7 years, offering prayers, conducting religious classes, and teaching children at the religious center. He would come only occasionally.
We had no idea about the allegations against him, but we don't believe them. He is a good person. We don't know anything else.
actually can't stop. The problem is, I asked ChatGPT once. मैं ChatGPT से पूछा, what do rich people do? ठीक है?
But they asked ChatGPT.
अब rich people क्या करते हैं? What do rich people do? तो उसने बोला 2-3 चीजें करते हैं. They said one is you start serving humanity, which is what a Bill Gates Foundation would do, or an Aziz Premji. Second is do something which humanity has never done, which is like probably a colonizing Mars, which probably an Elon Musk might be doing. And there are third type of people who are obsessed with challenges, obsessed with growth, obsessed with opportunities, obsessed with doing something different. And that I think is me. I think I am obsessed with growth, challenges, competition. And that drives me super. Life will go on. I will never retire. I don't think I will ever retire.
I am also never going to retire.
Yeah.
I think we'll continue.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा।
China and Japan are clashing verbally over Taiwan. Tensions between China and Japan have risen over Taiwan's security. Japan has signaled it may intervene in a potential conflict, viewing it as a threat to its own stability. China condemned this as meddling, issuing strong warnings and summoning diplomats. This conflict started when Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, issued a direct warning to China during a session of the country's parliament. She stated that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could represent a survival-threatening situation for Japan, implying that Tokyo might need to intervene militarily to protect its interests. This marked a bold escalation in Japan's stance on the Taiwan issue, signaling readiness to support Taiwan against potential Chinese action. Takaichi's comments, delivered amid rising regional tensions, prompted an immediate and sharp rebuke from Beijing, highlighting the fragile balance in East Asia and the risk of broader confrontation.
The remarks made by the Japanese leader on Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations. Such words are extremely irresponsible and dangerous in nature and have caused very negative impact.
Taiwan is an island of 23 million people, situated about 100 miles off China's southeast coast. China regards it as a breakaway province under the One China principle, insisting that other countries acknowledge this and avoid treating Taiwan as a sovereign state. Taiwan, however, maintains its own government, conducts elections, and runs an independent economy, a setup rooted in 1949 when China's civil war concluded with the defeated nationalist forces retreating to the island while the communists consolidated power on the mainland. This division has persisted without full-scale war, but mutual distrust has grown. China has intensified its military presence around Taiwan in recent years, viewing reunification as a national goal. For instance, in October this year, H-6K bombers from the People's Liberation Army Air Force conducted flights over the island, while June exercises involved over 70 aircraft, including J-16 fighters and unmanned drones, crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait. Naval operations have featured Type O-52D destroyers and Type O-54A frigates patrolling the waters. Beijing frames these as defensive drills to deter independence moves.
Japan claims to be a peace-loving nation, yet the Takaichi administration has made vague and ambiguous remarks. China is seriously concerned about Japan.
India's creative industries, how they are becoming a new frontier of growth. Absolutely, Rakshita. Mr. Raja Navani, Chairman and Managing Director of Jetline Group of Companies, has been a pioneer in digital entertainment, gaming, empowering India's youth economy. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Raj Navani.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here with all of you. And it's, I think when you think of the Republic India Economic Summit, you say where aspirations of India meet bold ideas. I think this is the place where it's all happening. And today, earlier, when Arnab walked me around this campus and showed me what has been created here, I must compliment both Arnab and Republic for what has been created. It's something truly what India can create, both for India and from India for the world. And I think when you see that, and you see the young people who were walking around here, it brings about that hope and excitement that we all talk about when we think of India. We always say that, we are the world's youngest country by age, but I think what is most important is how are we going to use that youthful power that we have to be able to shape the future, not only of our country, but of the world at large. And I think, therefore, there is that one India moment. When you think of it, we are the world's fastest growing economy today. We have a youth demography that none others have. And I think it was with the same, expectation that when we were thinking about what would the next 30 years of our group's business be like, we're an 80-year-old business family, I thought that the best way to be able to help shape that was to understand first this Gen Z, the young generation that is not only going to be, creating this India, but also going to be the biggest consumers in shaping the future of this India. This is the generation that, will reject a job because you're not allowed hoodies, at work. This is the generation that when we try and understand them or they say, you don't get us. It's a digital always generation. It is an immersive generation. It is a generation, that is very hard for someone to be able to point a finger at and say, this is what defines it, right? Everyone's trying to figure that out. And so we set upon this journey to say, we are going to build trust with this generation. We are going to actually play a role in the daily digital life of this generation. And through that platform and that trust, really be able to address both their concerns and their needs of the future. And it was, therefore, by chance that the entire, media entertainment piece is what we hit upon, because strategically when we were figuring out, we said the first area that the opportunity we could see was one where, there was a particular way in which this generation was engaging both with content, not only as consumers of content, but also creators of content. And I think that's the big shift and the big opportunity that we saw, about a decade ago. And over these years, we have actually built this entire ecosystem, whether it comes to, finding competitive gamers in esports, creating simulated experiences through video gaming, which is also extending to, education and a lot other areas of artificial kind of not only bringing artificial intelligence, but, using artificial intelligence to drive immersive experiences in augmented, mixed, and virtual reality. And I think that entire journey and experience is what, shaped a large part of what we have been doing over the last decade. And then this entire aspect of the creator economy. And I think for India, if we really look at what's going to drive the future, to me, it sits in these three buckets, right? There is innovation, there is creativity, and then there is entrepreneurship. So if I look at the room here and I see a lot of young faces here, and I say, how many of you want to actually be job creators, and not just job seekers? I'm sure I'm going to see a lot of hands, because everybody here wants to be able to create an opportunity for a livelihood that not only concerns themselves, but gives them the freedom, the flexibility, and today with technology, the ability to actually create very successful micro-entrepreneurship or careers that never existed before. So not only are you going to be able to, create enterprises of the future that are going to be in India, from India, for the world, but, actually ones that are going to be massively innovative. And in an era of technology, one very interesting facet that always comes out and everyone talks about it is what is it that's going to stay and what's it that's going to go away? So the creativity of a person, of a human being, is probably what's going to stay. So if you see all of human imagination, and I think Bharat and India has driven a large part of that, has come from some source of creativity that exists in one human being. And we see examples of that today. One maverick in the US has created not only satellite ecosystems, new cars, this. One human being can use and unleash creativity to such an extent that you can actually shape what the world will look like. And the ability to therefore be able to tap into that creative energy, that creative source, is something that I think is going to be a big shift that I believe we will have to see as individuals, as we look at the future, not only of India, but of the world. And I truly believe that India has the potential to bring that about. I see many examples. We work with the largest creator ecosystem in India, and whether it's in regional music, whether it is in many other areas. And what we find is the expertise of that creator that gets unlocked really results in the ability to influence others to make decisions. And I think brands and others who want to access that really have to tap into exactly that same source to be able to do it. So I think there's a huge shift that is happening when you look at what that creativity is unlocking, both for people, individuals, brands, the ecosystem, the country. And, with technology, we have been able to see the power of being able to take affordable solutions and many other things into the hands of people. And therein lies the entire aspect of innovation. So for a country like India, if we want to move from a developing country to the, developed and Viksit Bharat of 2047, and we want to do it through an innovation journey, there will be some non-negotiables of that journey, because never in the history of mankind has a democratically elected country of 1.4 billion people moved from being a developing to a developed country. And when we think of what are those non-negotiables, really we can tap into many aspects, but I think key things that will stand out is how do we include everybody into that process. Again, the role of technology and creativity to make that happen. How do we create solutions that are affordable and consumable by all? And the good part about the entire creator economy is that not only are the creators, the producers of whether it's content or solutions and actually deriving livelihoods from that, or employees of new age companies or even traditional companies, but they are also going to be the consumers. So it's a very strong 360-degree kind of engagement with them that will help shape enterprises, help shape countries, governments, and a collaborative approach to making that happen, to me, is what will help create that Viksit Bharat that we all talk about, the ones that we dream about, the ones that we imagine, and ones that we can continue to reimagine in the future. So to me, when I think of the future of India and I think of what is it that is going to be, taking India there, I think this entire generation of Gen Zs, the next generation of Gen Alphas, again, who have a very different behavioral pattern compared to Gen Zs, and the Gen Betas that are being born in 2025 are going to shape this India very differently. The Gen Alpha plays that we have today, we see the concerns that, 14 and 15-year-olds have today for causes that are of global issues. And you will not imagine, many of you will have examples at your own homes and in own companies and in your own areas, but you will be able to understand and appreciate that, because that will be a part of their DNA as they continue to grow. And with Gen Beta kids, we are hoping that India as a country today can create a generation that will not only shape that future, but will also inherit it, and therefore create that India which we all, would like to see and imagine growing into the future. For the Gen Beta, we have a very interesting 1,000-day program that starts from the time when someone is pregnant to the first 1,000 days of a child. right? I mean, the ability, and today science is showing how it can actually cross-pollinate and create very, very unique neural networks that will help shape that generation. So with the advancement of technology, we are going to see two things happen. There's going to be the appreciation for diversity and creativity, but also the convergence of many common new things that we find that will shape society. And I think, when we talk of India strengthening its economic power, strengthening its economic capacity, both in India and in the context of the world, these are the different aspects that we will, have to understand, appreciate, and collaboratively work to unlock in the near future. I know they wanted me to open this up and make this interactive with each one of you or whoever would like to have a discussion. So we'll move into that section of this conversation and maybe have someone, who wants to ask a question, really raise that right now. Thank you.
So you were talking about Gen Alpha, Gen Beta, Gen Z. We, as millennials, we are young managers. There is a Gen Z, which is after the advent of AI and technology, the Gen Z has changed completely. That's definitely a generation gap. But, how do you think, as you mentioned, for Gen Beta, you already have a program. And Gen Beta started in 2025, and you already have a program which you're saying, which is 1,000 days. So how do you see the advent of this technology changing the mindset of these people, which is very difficult to train humanly? To be very honest, there's a huge gap between the technology, there's a huge gap between their mindsets, there's a huge gap everywhere. So do you think that technology can fill that gap? Over to you. Thank you.
When you talk of technologies, we can talk of multiple technologies that, impact you and affect you in various ways. But the world, and today we are all talking of artificial intelligence, and I think you referred, to that. So today at least our strong belief is that each of these generations, right, whether it is the millennials or the Gen X, and, the duration of that generation is not equidistant to 15 years as everyone is talking, because generations are now compressing a lot faster. But that also means that there is an evolutionary process of the human being that is happening at a much different pace, and we see that, everywhere. Now that part is going to continue, right? I think what is in control, especially when it comes to India or enterprises that want to serve India, for the future, is the environment that you're able to create, for that generation. And I think when we look at ourselves as ecosystem creators for a particular generation. And what Gen Zs particularly we found different is that their interests are in communities, right? So there is a community that is interested, say, for example, in mindfulness, right? Or a community that is interested in a particular video game, or a community that is interested in following one particular young creator, right? And for us, each of those communities, if they're about 100 million people, right, or at least grow to that, is how we enter into those communities. And we either create the IPs or the reasons for which those communities exist, or then we address those communities and serve their needs, right? So it's not like one large 2 billion people community, which was, I think, of the internet generation. So the AI generation is probably going to reduce that even further, right? So today what you need and what someone sitting next to you needs are going to be two very different things. And how do you actually, manage those multiple interests through the day? So as Jet Synthesis, we said we will play a key role in your daily digital life. At 5 a.m. in the morning, you'll make an affirmation, I won't get angry today, and we'll handhold you through that. But you're listening to some music in regional, you're playing a video game somewhere, maybe you're deriving your livelihood as an athlete, as an esports athlete for the country, and going to go and win an Olympic medal, because that's happening in the digital world with esports. We've got an Olympics now, which is going to get created. So you're going to find very different new opportunities that will come up for Gen Zs and Gen Alphas and Gen Betas, right? What one can create is the right environment to help each of those generations, each individual, unlock the best version of themselves. That's how we really think of our business, and I think this is how India as a country should be thinking, and probably the world, because if each individual can live up to their true potential, then everything works, fairly well, because you will have, families, you will have, smaller enterprises, you will have, everyone actually being lifted up, and especially for a Viksit Bharat, I think that is what we want to see, India achieve.
It was a great speech, sir. Pleasure to hear you first. And what came in mind, given that I fall in the Gen Z category, is that what's the biggest wow factor when it comes to our generation that you see? And a lesson that we could learn from the ones that have brought Bharat where it stands now. Over to you, sir.
That is a question I should be asking you, right? But, for me, the wow factor is in every moment, every interaction with a Gen Z, right? I mean, I'm telling you, because we learn and we invest, I think over-invest in understanding this generation, because the starting point of the generation is that you don't get us, right? You don't understand us, right? I think when we were growing up, we never felt that. You felt a rebellion at some point in your life, at some age, everyone feels that. But here, in every Gen Z that I interact, and that is the beauty, right? You want to change the status quo, right? You come with no baggage and the youthful ability to be able to do that, right? Every revolution in the world, for positive change started with 5 people coming together, 10 people coming together. Today, you have a whole generation of people who are willing to stand for their causes, a very transparent generation. I mean, with social media, everybody lives their lives under public scrutiny, right? So I think it's a very different ingredient in this generation. And how do we as a country really leverage that? Because we are, the largest rising generation in the world. I mean, in the US, I chair the India version of the Aspen Ananta Center, and there's a huge grant given by the Bezos family, about $200 million to address values with the rising generation. My question is, where is the largest rising generation in the world? Right? We were having a discussion on the US and India. The largest rising generation is sitting here in this country. If we build the right values, we are able to unlock the true power in each one of that rising generation. Nothing can stop India from achieving its true potential. You add to that what we have as legacy, as a rich history. And today, as I was talking earlier, the tapping into that source of your ultimate creative potential is linked to a huge concept called consciousness. And I was in Boston at MIT, and MIT is saying the latest thing from the neuroscience department is consciousness, do we understand it, right? So there is this large Bharat knowledge heritage that we have, right, which was there. And today, science is coming to a conclusion, and, quantum is playing a large role to say that, this is how the human operates, this is how, the physiology of everything that is a state of matter comes from something that is non-physical, which is in a state of consciousness, and one which can unlock massive creative potential in each person. It's huge, right? When we think of that, I can't think of a better country than India to be able to position itself on the stage of global leadership. And that's the excitement that I think each one of you as Gen Z should see. That's the wow factor.
Actually, my question was, of course, based on what you spoke just now. There's no doubt that Indian heritage is going to play a big role in making the youth of India stand out when it comes to the world stage. What is your prescription for that? How can that be implemented? Thank you.
The beauty is there is no prescription. Because I'll tell you why. If you look at artificial intelligence today, artificial intelligence, especially when you look at generative, right? There are 2 forms. We've dealt with machine learning, we've dealt with structured data, and we've been able to create very, predictable, good outcomes, and that has created brilliant efficiency, etc. But when you have, unstructured data, when you have variables that you have never understood, how they will affect and impact and make a change, right? It creates a very different level of personalization that can be done today than ever before. right? So the point is, what is right for you is not right for someone else, right? So the moment you get into one form of a, structured thing for all, and that's what I was mentioning. For a Gen Z, we brought it down to smaller communities and interests, which are still significant, right? But as we are going forward, if you ask me, to unlock that true potential, right, we have to be able to understand that person far better. And this applies not only for those who are delivering, some services to them, but to see how they can participate in the nation's development. Each person has a different capacity to do things for themselves, do things for your family, do things for your nation, do things with your friends, and do things for what you work. I mean, that is your life, right? If you are able to bring that about. So the prescription, if at all, is to be able to stir the imagination of young people, is to get people excited and create platforms that help them get and unlock their true potential better. To help that generation, work around, as I said, a set of non-negotiables which are true for India, that are true for the world today, right? Today, whether it is, it's very easy to say, we stand for peace and joy and love and prosperity, right? But each of those words mean a lot. And how do you actually live that to be able to create a world that is going to see that, right? So I think there are many aspects of that, and each platform can take up one of these areas and kind of, create an open platform for people to come and be able to, explore that. But a prescriptive form for this generation and for this India change would actually be, not the right thing to do. It's a framework that one can create within which we can see a lot of change happen.
Hello, sir. A very good evening. So I wanted to ask, what gives a legacy industrialist the confidence to bet on the digital future, like how you have done through your subsidiary Jet Synthesis?
When we were looking at our manufacturing businesses, and we were seeing that, okay, we've allocated capital, we've put a lot of infrastructure to be able to create products, for our consumers. The first thing I started to see that the only, expense item that kept going up was marketing, which clearly meant that, we are not able to, to serve our consumers correctly because, they probably moved on and we are forcing them to buy our products, right? And from there, creating more lines as Jetline to Jet Synthesis was to synthesize in near real time and deliver to a person in an asset-light model what they truly need. And hopefully, as we are now beginning to move into the next phase, predict what they're going to need, from today's time. And I think that was the shift. That was the shift that the power of digital is going to shape the future of each individual in some shape and form. Enterprises, governments, everything you see, whether everyone has a stakeholder, right? So today for a government, a citizen is a stakeholder. And we've seen the massive transformation that, say, Aadhaar or UPI has done for a country like India. So in every area you are going to see this big shift happen, that technology, digital, and now increasingly with AI personalization is going to be able to make that shift happen. We decided about a decade ago to get into that space, and we believe that, that shift was very deliberate. It is very different because everything changes. It's not just what you deliver, but it's also how you deliver, how you monetize, how do you create business models that survive and thrive in a new age economy. And we are seeing so many great examples of companies in India that started a decade ago. There's a surge of IPOs, right? And all of them have achieved some scale. Some of them will say we are disruptors, but what have you disrupted? You've disrupted a process, you've disrupted a business model, and you're being able to serve a consumer sharper and better and faster. In 15 minutes you can get anything you want, you will move there, right? The fact that you are making that choice today means that anything else I was doing to try and get that product to you is not going to work, right? So I think this opportunity is what is going to drive not only today, but I think increasingly going to drive the future, and the companies who get that and who get that right, will make that shift. So if we see the $1 trillion market cap companies that we talk about in the US today came off the internet generation, right? Whether you see Amazon, you see Facebook, Meta, you see all the countries, because internet came in, they were able to do it. Now, with AI coming in, and if it is as big a revolution as the internet, what is going to drive the future companies in 10 years from today? That's what you should be asking yourselves, especially those who want to become entrepreneurs and really, go out there and build that with the right set of non-negotiables for a country like India. And the India playbook is going to play out for the world, if not today, in the future, definitely for you.
Hello, sir. Talking about Gen Z, some people say that ambition is taking a back seat and work-life balance is becoming a priority. What do you have to say on that?
Again, as I said, it's different for different people, but ambition is always a product of what you want to do, what you want to be, and how you will make it happen actually comes through your actions, right? And your efforts. So you have an ambition, and then you have an effort to make that ambition, to realize that ambition. So for those whose work and life and play are integrated, you'll find those crazy entrepreneurs who will work 20 hours a day, and you have one here at Republic. And I've seen that, who'll sleep on the studios and make it happen because you have that craze to be able to make that change happen in the world. The urgency to do things, is a very different kind of DNA, where your work, your life, your play, everything is immersed. So from one extreme like that to those who view it as a balance, because then you're creating a separate time for work, separate time for play, separate time for your ambition. But I think each person again will build it differently. What makes one different from the other is how you have built your inner self. And therefore I go back to there has never been a greater need than now for every individual to look inwards. Right? As I said, we created a Think Right platform because everything our education taught us is what you should say and do. Don't hit someone, or don't speak a lie. But the source of that is thought. I'm hitting someone because I'm getting angry. So if I make an affirmation in the morning, I won't get angry today, and I handhold you through the day, and you control that, you will obviously be a more productive person, and you will be able to, again, unlock that creativity from that source of ultimate potential that you have, right? And I think if you're not taking care of your inside today, it's going to be very hard because you're only managing situations, and then you want to balance your situations in life. But when you have that inner strength, and therefore we say from think right, to eat right, to move right, to sleep right, right life, right? If you can get that balance and you can look into a phone, like you look at Google for your external world, we've created Right Life where you look into a phone and you're able to understand yourself better. 72 parameters, what you should do now. And if you're in that zone, in that now moment, in that position, like right now I'm talking to you, I'm here with you discussing just this point, right? And you can move in that ability or have that ability to do that. You will definitely be able to achieve a lot more. And you will see that life, work, balance, all in some harmonious way, start working together. And that's what we need. We need to create a generation of happy people. We need to create a generation of balanced people. We need to create a generation that is productive, not only for themselves, their families, but for the country. So thank you.
सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी एवरी डे।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
So in the past, we would see most of the terrorists who would get arrested, they would be like the people who would be working at a very low level. But today we have seen the white collar suspect.
कश्मीर घाटी में डॉक्टर्स एक बहुत अल्टीमेट ड्रीम होता है वहां के लड़के लड़कियों का. उस बनने के बावजूद अगर आप रेडिकलाइज होकर अपने ही देशवासियों को मारने के लिए और अपने देश को तोड़ने के लिए तैयार हो सकते हैं, तो आप अंदाजा लगाइए किस तरह की रेडिकलाइजेशन हो रही है और इस फ्रंट पे हम क्या काम कर रहे हैं.
Investigators have identified Maulvi Irfan Wagha, also known as Imam Irfan, from Shopian in South Kashmir, as the mastermind who blended his dual identity, that of a preacher and healthcare worker, to influence and radicalize the educated youth.
The accusation against him is completely baseless. He had been there for 7 years, offering prayers, conducting religious classes, and teaching children at the religious center. He would come only occasionally.
We had no idea about the allegations against him, but we don't believe them. He is a good person. We don't know anything else.
According to the ongoing investigation, Maulvi used his access at GMC Srinagar and his sermons in Naugam's local mosques to identify and influence those he saw as easy targets, pushing them towards radicalization. He used social media to radicalize highly qualified professionals. During the questioning, Irfan
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good afternoon, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you. Well, there's an incendiary speech delivered by an AIMIM MLA of Hyderabad that has now sparked major political controversy. We'll tell you more about that, but first, the headlines. Amid Karnataka power tussle, DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah hold press conference together after a key breakfast meeting. Siddaramaiah said there are no differences between them. Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah said they will abide by High Command's decision and reiterate that Congress will return to power in 2028. Republic gets inside scoop of Karnataka power tussle. Sources tell Republic that Shivakumar unwilling to compromise. Airbus grounds 6,000 flights worldwide for urgent software update after JetBlue pitch down scare. Imran Khan's sister speaks to Republic TV, warning of chaos. Issues warning over Imran Khan's isolation, says Pakistan will be pushed into chaos. And Russian President Vladimir Putin to be on state visit to India on the 4th and 5th of December, holding key bilaterals with Prime Minister Modi.
We have some breaking news coming in at the top of this hour, viewers. In the India Gate protest case, the controversy that had erupted, Patiala House Court has rejected the request of Delhi police seeking custody of 7 accused persons in the Parliament Street police station. Viewers, remember there were pro-Maoist slogans that were raised and even pepper spray were used against the cops. Now, the court has sent the accused to 2 days judicial custody. The court has also listed the bail applications of the accused on the 1st of December. So 7 accused have been sent to 2-day judicial custody. Police custody has been denied. Shambhavi joins us live on the broadcast for more. Shambhavi, tell us more details about this case now. 2-day judicial custody for the accused.
Well, see, in this case, originally 6 people were arrested for protesting outside India Gate, that is the Kartavya Path area, and then later 17 were arrested for protesting outside the Parliament Street police station in support of those 6 people who were originally arrested. Now, out of 17 people, 9 of them were given bail. Left were 8. Out of 8 people, all those 8 people were sent to judicial custody. But police later asked for police custody of 7 out of those 8 people, which the court today denied. The court said that they will not be giving the police custody for those 7 people. Instead, they actually remanded those 7 people to judicial custody. So now all 8 of them are in judicial custody. And the bail hearings of the same will be heard on 1st of December.
Shambhavi, what are the charges that have been pressed against the accused? If you could just shed some light on that.
Basically, the charges are related to assault, obstruction of public servants, and also outraging women's modesty. We also know that several slogans, including posters and different supportive slogans, were raised for Maoist leader Hidma. So these are the charges which are being raised, basically assault and obstruction of public servant. These are the main charges that they are actually arguing on. And we know that 7 at one place and 8 another place, so total of 17 people are in police custody and judicial custody.
Thank you so much, Shambhavi. We have some breaking news coming in right now. Jamaat Ulama Hind, the president and former Rajya Sabha MP Maulana Mahmood Madani has sparked another controversy as he slams the apex court, saying it does not deserve to be called supreme. In fact, he has addressed a gathering in Bhopal. Maulana Mahmood Madani said, and I quote, after the verdict into Babri Masjid, triple talaq and several other matters, it seems that courts are functioning under government pressure for a few years now. Madani further added that, I quote, we have several instances before that have raised questions on the character of courts. Supreme Court is eligible to be called supreme only when it follows the constitution and when it upholds the law. If it does not do that, it doesn't deserve to be called supreme. In fact, he has also made a comment on jihad. Listen in to Madani.
हर हुक्मरान का अव्वलीन फर्ज अपनी रियाया को इंसाफ फराहम कराना है। मुल्क में अमन व अमान का क़याम और जराइम से पाक मुआशरे की तश्कील इंसाफ के बगैर हो नहीं सकती, हो ही नहीं सकती। लेकिन अफसोस के साथ ये कहना पड़ता है कि गुज़िश्ता कुछ अरसे से बिलखुसूस बाबरी मस्जिद, तलाक़ सलासा जैसे बहुत से मसालों पर फैसले के बाद ये तासुर आम हो रहा है कि अदालतें हुकूमतों के दबाव में काम कर रही हैं। अक़लियतों के आइनी हुकूक और दस्तूर के बाद बुनियादी उसूलों की तशरीह की ऐसी मिसालें सामने आई हैं जिन्होंने अदालतों के किरदार पर सवालिया निशान लगा दिया है। मौजूदा वक्त में इबादत गाह एक्ट को नज़रअंदाज करते हुए ज्ञानवापी और मथुरा के मुकदमात को काबिल समाअत करार देने का फैसला भी उसकी एक वाज़ेह मिसाल है। याद रखिए, सुप्रीम कोर्ट उस वक्त तक ही सुप्रीम कहलाने का मुस्तहिक़ है जब तक आइन की पाबंदी करे, कानून के हुकूक का ख्याल रखे। अगर ऐसा न करे तो वो इखलाकी तौर पर भी सुप्रीम कहलाने का हकदार नहीं है।
So Maulana Madani has questioned the Supreme Court, says it shouldn't, questioning the word supreme, and he also goes on to talk about jihad. Viewers, in in the same speech, in fact, he has said that there will be jihad if oppression continues, if oppression happens. That's a shocker coming in from the Jamaat chief, the Jamiat Ulama-e-Hind chief, Mahmood Madani. He's been in the news for such controversial statements, divisive statements in the past as well. And now he has triggered a political straw by saying if there is oppression, there will be jihad, as he accuses the judiciary and government of undermining the rights of the minorities. Meanwhile, we are interrupted by some more breaking news. Viewers, Air India flight. An Air India flight has reported abnormal high-rate descent. Airbus has been asked to investigate it. Now, Air India A320, this is another A320 aircraft. So A320 aircraft, I beg your pardon, A320 NEO, operating AI Air India flight 2333 from Bangkok to Delhi experienced an unusually high descent rate of over 7,000 feet per minute today. The autopilot disconnected automatically and the pilots took manual control to stabilize the aircraft. Flight data has been downloaded and shared with Airbus, which is analyzing the event to determine the cause. So that's another very, very dangerous development that we are learning about. Flight data has been downloaded and Airbus has been asked to investigate this high rate descent that has happened. It's abnormal, what we understand. AI flight. This is the Air India flight. And remember, Airbus already has grounded half of the fleet. And this is, of course, concerning about safety. We do not know if it is connected with the software issue or not. But yes, viewers, remember the A320 fleet has been grounded. Almost half of it has been grounded. And because of that, we see that the Indigo and Air India have warned of flight delays over the software upgrade. But this is a latest, is this first from Republic TV that we are telling you about this flight that has in fact reported abnormal high rate descent. Group Captain GP Bajpai joined us on the broadcast. For more, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. And Captain Bajpai, we see that there have been already, Airbus has been in the news, but now we talk about high rate descent and abnormal descent. Sir, what does this really mean and how concerning is this?
Ma'am, good evening to you and to millions of your viewers. This particular incident seems to be, though it is a little unusual, but it seems to be occasionally it happens because the aircraft was flying at 25,000 feet and it descended at a rate of 7,000 feet per minute. More than 6,000 feet per minute rate of descent is acceptable. Beyond that, if the rate of descent increases, pilot is supposed to disengage autopilot and take the control on manual mode. And that's what precisely he has done it since the pilot was alert. Simultaneously, whenever the rate of descent increases or goes beyond 6,000 feet per minute, he is supposed to report to their respective safety management system and the flight safety department. As it is clear, you have reported that subsequent arrival at the base, they have not found any other abnormality. They have to go into details why this has happened and they have to initiate the corrective measures.
Right.
However, anybody would link with those 6,000 Airbus aircrafts being grounded for the software glitch. I was observing your TV in the afternoon also. It is very well, beautifully covered by Captain Khalid. And only one more thing I would like to update. There are almost 500 odd aircraft, 350 with the Indigo and 150 with the Air India of this category. Some of them, most of them, or few of them would have got this software glitch issue. There it is understood from the reliable sources that out of this 6,000 aircraft, 5,100 aircraft issue could be resolved by updating the software, which will take only 3-hour duration. And for remaining 900 aircraft, we have to update the software on the equipment itself, for which the grounding time might be little more, or the respective computer are required to be sent to OEM, that is Airbus.
Right, sir. Many thanks for joining us with those insights into that story, viewers. Thank you so much for giving us that understanding of this development, viewers. We'll keep a close eye. With that, viewers, we shift our focus to the other stories that we're tracking for you from across the country. This is Bharat in 2 minutes. DMK MPs meet at the party headquarters under the leadership of Chief Minister and DMK President M.K. Stalin. The meeting was convened to review the work reports submitted by the MPs. Issues related to this SIR, along with the overall performance of the MPs, will also be discussed during the meet. 12 Bangladeshi nationals and 1 Indian citizen have been arrested by Islampur police after a raid in Char Gopalpur village under Hurshi Gram Panchayat. Arrests based on information from a confidential source indicating that foreign nationals were being sheltered in the area without documentation. The Rouse Avenue Court in Delhi on Saturday again adjourned the passing of its order on whether to take cognizance of the Enforcement Directorate's charge sheet in the National Herald money laundering case. The court will now pronounce its order on the 16th of December. A layer of fog lingers above the Dal Lake as temperature dips. Minimum temperature recorded today was at minus 3.1 degrees Celsius. The maximum expected to reach 12.1 degrees Celsius. Despite a slight improvement in the air quality, Delhi's air continues to be in the very poor category. Talking about this morning, with the National Capital Region recording an average AQI of 341. Air quality saw a slight improvement on Friday with an average AQI of 369. Tragic accident occurred at Bodhi International School in Ratlam after 14-year-old students studying in class 8 suddenly jumped from the 3rd floor of the school. The students suffered serious injuries and the school management immediately admitted him to a private hospital where doctors said that the child has fractures in both legs and the spine. His condition is said to be stable. Now, Al-Falah University continues to be at the center of the probe by agencies into the 10/11 Delhi car blast case. Several developments and revelations continue to surface regarding the terror doctors and the university's founder. Here's more.
In a startling discovery, NIA officials have recovered 18 lakh rupees in cash from the wardrobe of the suspected terrorist Dr. Shaheen. The money was concealed in a simple polythene bag inside room number 22 that belonged to Shaheen. On September 25th, Shaheen purchased a Brezza car using cash. The National Investigation Agency is now trying to determine the source of large sum. During the raid, the NIA also searched Shaheen's locker in the admin block of Al-Falah University campus. Meanwhile, the founder, Jawad Ahmed Siddiqui, is also under huge scrutiny and is believed to have routed funds through a UK-registered company linked to his son, who holds a UK citizenship. The ED has opened a parallel probe into the investment of those funds, suspecting they were obtained by misleading people and laundering money through son's overseas firm. In a separate development, the Delhi blast case continues to expand. The NIA has recorded statements from 30 doctors at Al-Falah Medical College. Those questioned have described the terror Dr. Omar as rude and selective about who entered his room. Investigators recovered 4 videos from Omar's phone. One shows him justifying jihad and human bombs. The other 3 are similar short clips lasting 3 to 5 minutes each. The phone is being analyzed to track down his accomplices. On the other hand, the Delhi police have issued a notice to private hospitals seeking information on doctors who graduated from Pakistan, Bangladesh, the UAE or China are now practicing in the capital. The multiple investigations into the cash stash, alleged fund routing through a university and the Delhi blast case highlight the web of financial and terror links that are now under investigation.
Shifting focus to Maharashtra, where AIMIM MLA from Hyderabad, Majid Hussain, has issued open threats at a rally in Maharashtra's Washim. Now, he's an MLA from Nampally of Hyderabad, Majid Hussain. He had come to address a rally at Bhagwanpura, and this is for the municipal elections. And he threatened the gathering, saying that if the matters come to us, streets will fall short. MLA's provocative remarks have gone viral on social media platforms. Listen in.
हल्ली से इत्तेहाद मुस्लिमीन है, बच्चों का खेल जब हमार पे आएगी ना, इंशाल्लाह गली गली कम पड़ेगी इंशाल्लाह। है मेरे बुजुर्गों, है मेरे नौजवानों, हल्ली से इत्तेहाद मुस्लिमीन है, बच्चों का खेल जब हमार पे आएगी ना, इंशाल्लाह गली गली कम पड़ेगी इंशाल्लाह। है मेरे बुजुर्गों, है मेरे नौजवानों।
Meanwhile, BJP has taken on the AIMIM over Hyderabad MLA Majid Hussein's threatening remarks. Listen.
महाराष्ट्र के वाशिम में AIMIM विधायक माजिद हुसैन का एक बहुत ही शर्मनाक बयान हम सभी के संज्ञान में आया है। मजहब को सुरक्षा कवच बनाकर, शरीयत का बहाना लेकर AIMIM के लोग हमेशा से राजनीति करते आए हैं। इस तरह की गंदी राजनीति आपके हैदराबाद में तो चल सकती है, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र में बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगी, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र की एकता, अखंडता, भाईचारा हमेशा से पूरे विश्व में जाना पहचाना जाता है। हमारी एकता, अखंडता, भाईचारा को यदि आप तोड़ने का प्रयास करेंगे तो इसका अंजाम बहुत ही बुरा होगा। आप अपने आकाओं के नक्शे कदम पर चलते हुए हैदराबाद में जो चाहे वो करें, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र में इस तरह की बात आप करेंगे तो आपको जवाब मिलेगा, और महाराष्ट्र की जनता इस तरह के बयानों को बिल्कुल बर्दाश्त नहीं करेगी। आप हमेशा से दो समुदाय के बीच में आप फूट डालने का प्रयास करते हैं। जिस अल्पसंख्यक को यहाँ का बहुसंख्यक संरक्षित करता है, उनको आप मारने काटने की बात करते हैं, उनसे आप लोहा लेने की बात करते हैं। ये बहुत ही निंदनीय है, और इस तरह के बयान की हम कड़े शब्दों में निंदा करते हैं।
ओवैसी की पार्टी एमआईएम के विधायक माजिद हुसैन ने महाराष्ट्र की वाशिम की भूमि पर आकर के ये ललकारा है कि गलियां कम पड़ जाएगी। माजिद हुसैन, इस तरीके की धमकाने की भाषा, नौजवानों को बरगलाने की भाषा, सही मायने में गलियां कम पड़ती ही होगी। ये भाषा जो गली में घूमते हैं उन्हीं जैसी है। महाराष्ट्र में आकर के, छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की भूमि में आकर के तुम ललकारते हो गलियां कम पड़ जाएगी, और धमकाते हो कि शरिया को हाथ लगा के दिखाओ। माजिद हुसैन, ये देश संविधान पर चलता है, ये छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज की भूमि है। यहां पर इस तरीके की धमकाने की भाषा करोगे तो पुलिस आपको कानून और संविधान का अच्छी तरीके से पाठ पढ़ाएगी। भूलना मत, यह भारतीय जनता पार्टी का शासन है।
So the high-intensity joint training of the Indian UK forces continues with the exercise Ajay Warrior. Indian Air Force and Army joining hands with UK counterparts for the integrated day and night special heli-borne operations. Viewers, here's a look as we conclude this edition of Live and Breaking.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ, 8 मिनट में तैयार। क्या टेस्ट है, सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
China and Japan are clashing verbally over Taiwan. Tensions between China and Japan have risen over Taiwan's security. Japan has signaled it may intervene in a potential conflict, viewing it as a threat to its own stability. China condemned this as meddling, issuing strong warnings and summoning diplomats. This conflict started when Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, issued a direct warning to China during a session of the country's parliament. She stated that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could represent a survival-threatening situation for Japan, implying that Tokyo might need to intervene militarily to protect its interests. This marked a bold escalation in Japan's stance on the Taiwan issue, signaling readiness to support Taiwan against potential Chinese action. Takaichi's comments, delivered amid rising regional tensions, prompted an immediate and sharp rebuke from Beijing, highlighting the fragile balance in East Asia and the risk of broader confrontation.
The remarks made by the Japanese leader on Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations. Such words are extremely irresponsible and dangerous in nature and have caused very negative impact.
Taiwan is an island of 23 million people, situated about 100 miles off China's southeast coast. China regards it as a breakaway province under the One China principle, insisting that other countries acknowledge this and avoid treating Taiwan as a sovereign state. Taiwan, however, maintains its own government, conducts elections, and runs an independent economy, a setup rooted in 1949 when China's civil war concluded with the defeated nationalist forces retreating to the island while the communists consolidated power on the mainland. This division has persisted without full-scale war, but mutual distrust has grown. China has intensified its military presence around Taiwan in recent years, viewing reunification as a national goal. For instance, in October this year, H-6K bombers from the People's Liberation Army Air Force conducted flights over the island, while June exercises involved over 70 aircraft, including J-16 fighters and unmanned drones, crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait. Naval operations have featured Type 052D destroyers and Type 054A frigates patrolling the waters. Beijing frames these as defensive drills to deter independence moves.
Japan claims to be a peace-loving nation, yet the Takaichi administration has made vague and ambiguous remarks. China is seriously concerned about Japan's recent military and security developments.
In turn, the United States supplies Taiwan with arms like Patriot missiles and F-16 jets, offering security commitments.
First year when I went to Shark Tank, I was not an investor. I didn't know how investment happens, what do investors look at, because I was busy building boat.
Correct.
I was busy building my company.
Which is a good thing.
And suddenly, the Shark Tank came in and I was supposed to be on the chair.
Yeah.
So it was very easy for me making decisions. I didn't know Excel sheets. Sir, even today, I don't care about Excel sheets.
I love that. I just love it. I think many great ideas can end with an Excel sheet, but they won't begin with one.
Sir, Excel sheet, मुझे आज भी सबको पता है कि मेरे को there is a line which I always say.
Well done, Aman. Well done. So proud of you.
I don't believe in data, sir. I believe in data. You know data?
Not data.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे केसरिया से मन जोगी
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला स्टर करो पुदीना चटनी तैयार MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला MDH
So in the past, we would see most of the terrorists who would get arrested, they would be like the people who would be working at a very low level. But today we have seen the white-collar suspect.
कश्मीर घाटी में डॉक्टर्स एक बहुत अल्टीमेट ड्रीम होता है वहां के लड़के लड़कियों का, उस बनने के बावजूद अगर आप रेडिकलाइज होकर अपने ही देशवासियों को मारने के लिए और अपने देश को तोड़ने के लिए तैयार हो सकते हैं, तो आप अंदाजा लगाइए किस तरह की रेडिकलाइजेशन हो रही है और इस फ्रंट पे हम क्या काम कर रहे हैं.
Investigators have identified Maulvi Irfan Wagha, also known as Imam Irfan, from Shopian in South Kashmir, as the mastermind who blended his dual identity, that of a preacher and healthcare worker, to influence and radicalize the educated youth.
The accusation against him is completely baseless. He had been there for 7 years, offering prayers, conducting religious classes, and teaching children at the religious center. He would come only occasionally.
We had no idea about the allegations against him, but we don't believe them. He is a good person. We don't know anything else.
According to the ongoing investigation, Maulvi used his access at GMC Srinagar and his sermons in Naugam's local mosques to identify and influence those he saw as easy targets, pushing them towards radicalization. He used social media to radicalize highly qualified professionals. During the questioning, Irfan admitted to the police that he had radicalized Dr. Muzammil Shakil, who is the key accused of Faridabad Arms Hall.
According to the officials,
Ladies and gentlemen, healthcare is both an economic engine and a moral imperative. Our next conversation explores how India's healthcare sector is shaping a $500 billion opportunity of access and innovation.
And Dr. Sangeeta Reddy, Joint Managing Director, Apollo Hospitals, a visionary leader whose work has redefined healthcare delivery and digital transformation.
Dr. Sangeeta Reddy in conversation with Mr. Shavan Sen, Deputy Executive Editor of the Republic Media Network.
Dr. Reddy, it's a pleasure having you at our campus here. And the conversation that we've had just a short while back gives us a glimpse of our area that is not much spoken about. There is always an element of fear when it comes to healthcare. So I want to directly start by asking you, in building a healthcare for 1.4 billion, how does Apollo really come into the picture? What exactly is the roadmap for building healthcare for 1.4 billion?
So thank you. First of all, I'm extremely happy that healthcare has become so much center stage and these kind of questions are being asked. When we began 42 years ago, the primary thing was we were driven by the vision and the need to bring advanced healthcare which was being practiced in the West and bring that to India at a price that people could afford it or even give the access. So in 1983, we started our first hospital. Dr. Reddy, our chairman, was a practicing cardiologist, came back to India, and he used to practice cardiology, but he sent his heart surgery patients to the US because the cost of care was unacceptably high. And the other problem was really that the outcomes were not the same in India. So he said, if Indian doctors can cure and heal people all over the world, why can't we do it here? He set up Apollo within, and and it was not easy. There was no support from banks, very limited, support from the government. But he persisted because he felt this was, the need. But from that time, so after our first hospital became a success, then, history has shown today we're over 72 hospitals, over 10,500 beds. But more importantly, we're delivering that world-class care at 1/10 of global prices. And in the journey of the last 42 years, we've worked on health insurance to enhance access. We've worked on medical skilling with 2 medical colleges and almost 17 nursing schools, and one of the largest online training platforms for paramedics. So we've worked on different areas, on science, on research, on discovery, on prevention, the pharmacy chain, customer connectivity, AI in healthcare. But now I think the biggest thing that we are really working on is prevention. And this is not something we've done today. We've been doing preventive healthcare or the health checkups for the last 25 years. And even earlier. But today, when you come into an Apollo health check, we start with an AI-enabled risk score. We do a personalized set of tests. We then move this into not a prescription, but a path to wellness. And I think this path to wellness, which is supported by a health mentor, is really the transformational way to look at healthcare. And so, coming back to at a national level, I believe that Apollo has validated models that I hope can get scaled by everyone. It's in infrastructure, it's in preventive healthcare, it's in methodologies of education, it's in social impact. We've worked with governments in primary healthcare. We've done programs like Kanti Velugu, where we screen about 20,000 people a day for eye problems using AI and technology, and issue approximately 2,500 spectacles a day. So it's in programs like that at scale. So in joint ideation of mission mode interventions to create true transformation in the healthcare of our country, accelerating known good models, and bringing this forward and creating this positive flywheel. Because when you focus on prevention using data, you will then create the data capability for innovation, and you will reduce the burden of disease because the cost of care comes down with prevention. Once you've done the innovation piece, you will come up with new methodologies, new cures, like new vaccines, new biomarkers. And this will become a positive flywheel which can transform the healthcare ecosystem of our country. So while we're working every day, we see about 300,000 patients a day, either physically or digitally. We're working at a practical level every day. We're visioning for a much healthier, happier country.
Well, I think so many in this particular auditorium would have also witnessed it. You speak about preventive medicine, and the fact of the matter is that when we have actually gone into a hospital in today's time, and especially in a market which is profit-driven, we're largely told that, okay, why not go in for a surgery? And that's not much of a, not much of a focus or an impetus that is given on prevention. Do you think that is going to change, given the fact that there is a lot of competition in the health industry too?
So I'm not putting it in the context of competition. I'm sure it's going to change, but I think the driver for change is going to be people like all of you, that you understand healthcare. You begin to realize that the heart attack that people are getting, and many young people are getting heart attacks, but the heart attack that you're getting at 50 began by the arteries getting clogged at 25 and 30. And that's when the negative began. The fact that you have a stroke when you're 70 is because of something that you didn't do when you were 50 or 60. And definitely the disability at 80 happens because of the muscle wasting which began in your 60s. So this appreciation that so much of staying healthy is in your own hands, and so much of monitoring that health is in proactive preventive healthcare in a good scientific environment. That, I think, is the basis for the transformation which is going to happen. And that's what we are working on public awareness, on proactive, preventive, predictive healthcare using all the diagnostic tools and AI, and definitely on a deeper connect, creating digital twins, creating solutions where we can monitor people's health and help them be proactive and healthier. Our chairman's vision now is very clear. I want health and happiness at home.
Dr. Reddy, I want to share this with you because we've had this personal experience many a times. For example, from a place where I come from, access to healthcare was extremely difficult even till date. I think so Napola has just come up a few months or a year back, that is in Shillong.
Where do you come from? Shillong. Okay.
And for the longest time, we had to travel far away to even reach. And Apollo at that point in time was like, if I have to go to Chennai, all the way. So you would have a lot of people from the Northeast actually going there. Accessibility is still a problem. Till date, this conversation happens in remote areas that we do not have access to the kind of healthcare, say, many of us really enjoy in urban cities. Is there a possibility when we really talk about Viksit Bharat, can a Viksit Bharat actually happen when access to healthcare is such a big problem even till date?
So a Viksit Bharat can happen, should happen, and will happen. The accessibility to healthcare is a problem that must be solved. First, I must thank the people of Shillong in the Northeast. They have put so much faith in Apollo and come and travel to us, so we're now trying to get closer to them. But let me just say that today, healthcare is accessible via telemedicine at the first stage. So one of the things I'm seeing as a global trend is that healthcare is moving from the hospital into the clinics, from the clinics into the home, and from home into a 24/7 ubiquitous access to care. You can pick up your phone, download, whether it's Apollo 24/7, you will see a doctor in 15 minutes. These are the kind of things where technology is being used. The government telemedicine portal, extremely powerful platform with many, many doctors connected. So number one, for teleconsults and initial understanding of health problem, people do not have to travel. We must educate public to use technology to at least understand their problems first. The second step then is how far do we need to go for diagnostics? And diagnostics again are moving in to small village headquarters. In fact, we've done many partnerships with primary healthcare centers to put it there. And then there's the proliferation, hopefully, of more private hospitals and the upgradation of general hospitals and the government hospitals. So my belief is that healthcare is getting closer. My hope is that preventive healthcare is going to become a larger theme and that public are becoming more aware about their health and will proactively manage their health in a different way, and that the burden of disease in our country will come down because early detection and prevention is far more powerful, less painful, and much less expensive than going in for a high-end surgery. This is the primary message of healthcare today.
Yeah, I want to also focus a little bit about the journey that your father has also had. The letter that was written by your grandfather to your father and thereafter asking him to return and perhaps start something here in India and contributing to the growth story. The difficulty that your father had to bring the kind of quality doctors. Today, numbers may have increased. The number of doctors that we have may have increased. But do we really have the quality? Are we really at a situation where we do not have enough quality doctors? I'm not talking about urban areas. My focus is largely for those who still feel that good quality treatment is not available to us.
So you hit upon two very important points. Number one is the availability of doctors. I will enhance that to say doctors, nurses, paramedics. Not only do we still have a shortage in terms of ratio, but we must acknowledge the fact that the number of medical colleges has actually grown exponentially. And the number of graduates that in the next 5 years we will be bringing out, it's estimated that in 12 years we will no longer have a shortage of doctors. But the second thing is that the way and the productivity of doctors is going to enhance using AI. But the other trend which is happening is that many of our doctors and nurses are traveling abroad. And many of our paramedics are now working in non-clinical areas. I know an X-ray technician who says he makes more money working as a Swiggy delivery boy than as an X-ray technician. So there is a cost and a remuneration gap, which also we have to solve in terms of financial structuring. But the big point you made was also on the quality. And here I think there's more that we need to do. Indian doctors gained an amazing reputation across the world because of the extent of training. In fact, in Apollo, we have a global partnership with an international university, and their students spend 6 months of the year with us because of the quantity of work and the quality of the training that they can get. But we need to ensure that all our medical colleges are of that standard, and then we need to train them in new age treatments. So artificial intelligence is not yet a subject in the medical curriculum. That has to happen immediately. Robotic surgery, which is clearly going to be part of the future. Stem cell therapy, preventive healthcare. But I know that the Medical Council is looking at these. I have great faith in the capability of the Indian clinician and of our ecosystem to evolve towards that vision of Viksit Bharat.
Dr. Reddy, pardon me by saying this, but I think so many would, at home would have spoken about this, that most of these hospitals today have these preventive healthcare facilities, checkups that are being done. And when you have a conversation back home, they'll say that, okay, look here, this is more that the hospital is trying to extract more money out of us. So preventive healthcare also has this notion that this is, again, some sort of an activity or carried out by the hospital, which is, again, PR-driven, does not have much of a benefit, and it does not really work. So what would you essentially tell those that, does this really help? Does this kind of express checkups that we have, hospitals have put up, does that really help anyone?
See, an appropriate health checkup done in a right place with a good medical interpretation is invaluable. Let me reiterate this point, that if you find that your cardiac vessels are beginning to have a block, if you change lifestyle, if you change diet, if you control the identifiable risk factors, and if you prevent your heart attack, isn't that extremely valuable? Because when you have a heart attack, that vessel gets blocked, your heart muscle gets damaged. This is irreparable damage. So because of a few things which have happened in a certain center or a certain commercial practice happening in one center, don't deny yourself the power of a good health checkup. That's the only thing I would really say, because your future depends on staying healthy today and doing the right things to keep your body working tomorrow. Today we're talking about longevity. I will say that our effort is not just towards longevity. It is towards creating health span versus lifespan. So in your 80s and 90s, can you walk? Can you do things yourself? Do you need major treatments? These can be prevented by having a health checkup today. And then, like I said, it's not about a prescription. It is about a lifestyle which becomes part of you, or a journey to wellness. Bring yourself to the optimal level of wellness. That's what Apollo Pro Health does. And I really hope wherever you're getting your checkups, that you are looking for a proactive, preventive health initiative in your lives.
Are we as a society much more afraid of getting a diagnostic done, because we would be essentially told that we have a trust deficit here, because no matter what we do, we would be told that there is something wrong whenever we go to the hospitals. Can that trust deficit be, can we bridge that gap?
I think I need the help of media to bridge that gap, because I truly believe that if you walk into, we do approximately 2.5 million health checkups every year within our ecosystem. And I know that out of every 1,000 checkups that we do, we find 11 people with major problems. Cancer at the early stage, heart disease at their early stage, preventable stroke, liver, that you could find. And when you treat them at an early stage, I reiterate, it is less painful for them and their family. it is more cost effective, but more importantly, the outcomes are better. So why in India do we have 65% of our cardiac diagnostic treatments resulting in interventions? Because they're coming so late. Where was that patient when his first vessel was getting blocked? They're coming with 3-vessel and 5-vessel disease. And 72% of our cancers are over stage 2. Where was that person in stage 1? This is the question we have to ask ourselves. So please find the right place that you trust, but don't deny yourself the power of a health checkup. That is really the important message.
Dr. Reddy, there is always a dichotomy here because...
Thank you. I really think that it's important for all of you. Thank you.
So I think so when they go back home today, everyone can actually feel rest assured that once you go to the hospital, need not be that you'll have to be told that there will be a surgery.
Yeah, it's not. Sometimes, your repeated headache is because you didn't get your eyes checked and you need to change your glasses or you need glasses. Sometimes it's an ulcer because you haven't had food on time. And that ulcer could have become something much bigger if you don't prevent it now. So this early warning symptoms that the human body is an amazing mechanism. It's telling you things every day. And medical science is an amazing science which is also picking up these signals. So allow these two to work together for you, to keep you healthier, to keep you at optimal health.
There's a dichotomy here because many would say that if I go to the hospital, I spend much more. Many of it, like an outpatient duty that is not covered by the insurance, which essentially means any test that you and I are doing, they're quite expensive. An MRI today would have been costing us a lot, which is not covered. What really happens then? This comes at a time when we are basically projecting ourselves as India as the global medical hub. But the reality is also this, that many of us still cannot afford because our insurance does not allow that. Today, here in the national capital, when you have respiratory illness, you have insurance companies speaking about 10 to 15% of a hike in the premium. What do we really do? How do we exactly perhaps turn this over?
So number one, I think you raised a very beautiful point, which is I firmly believe that health insurance should cover outpatient as well as inpatient. Very few people know this, but in India, insurance is sitting in 3 verticals. It's in health insurance, it's in general insurance, and it's in life insurance. I had the privilege of deposing in front of the parliament when the insurance bill was being discussed. The power of having it in life insurance is that the life insurance people will spend the money on preventive health care to keep you healthier longer. We should not think about health the way it happens in some Western countries as per member per month. That is not health insurance. But coming to the main point, number one is we need coverage for OP and IP. The second important point is that there are clear protocols of what is the appropriate health care that is needed for a person. And there are clear indicators. When do you need an MRI and when do you not? And so it's easy for all of you to educate yourself on the appropriate protocol and very confidently ask your doctor saying, I don't need to have this test, I'll come back later. But don't miss out on the essential things. So I really would like to know how many young women under the age of 24 have had their HPV vaccine. Do you know that having this vaccine can prevent you from having cervical cancer? These are the important things we need to ask. How many women over the age of 55, how many men over the age of 55 are having their cancer screening? It's a simple test with no cost to have a prostate exam. So these are important things. My request to everybody is to become aware. Do your diagnostics. So, at Apollo, we're really putting so much effort into saving lives, high-end intensive care, robotic surgery, bone marrow transplant, heart transplants, but we're putting equal effort into prevention, into educating public about what they need to know and what they can do to stay healthy. There's simple things. If the elderly at 50, 60, if you simply do your leg exercises, you will improve the circulation to your legs. And if you're a diabetic, that's even more important Because imagine at 55 or 60 if we have to amputate a toe because of that less vascular flow. I want this knowledge to go to every home and every household. In the olden days, through yoga, India knew this. We lost our yoga, we lost lots of this thing, and therefore we've come in, and then we've moved to sedentary lifestyles and, the new age kind of living. So let's rediscover some of these proactively with the backing of science so that we can stay healthier.
One final question that I want to ask you, Dr. Reddy, because there is a lot of pressure and expectation from the private industry, and particularly when it comes to the health infrastructure. When it comes to the government spending, it is abysmally low. We cannot expect proper structure, the infrastructure to be in the rural areas. The entire health system appears to be broken, especially given the condition of our hospitals. What perhaps can be the perfect public-private partnership that would enable us to have a better India, an India where every Indian citizen has access to good healthcare? What would your vision essentially be?
So let me begin by saying that I think Ayushman Bharat, the Prime Minister's insurance scheme, the enhancement of medical colleges, the enhancement of the All India Institutes, the growth of the wellness centers, there's some amazing work that is happening in the government, and I must acknowledge it. It's just that there is so much to be done. Simple statistics, 30% of the world's disease burden is in India. And less than 2% of the world's budget is being spent in India on healthcare. So number one, we need to allocate more money towards healthcare. This money must go 40% into health infrastructure, whether it's directly or through PPP. The second, another 40% should go into primary preventive healthcare so that we're giving the vaccines, we're creating mission mode, like the Prime Minister's amazing program on Eliminate TB. So we need about 7 to 10 initiatives on things like that. And hopefully, another 10-20% could go into public education and research and innovation. Because we have the data, we have the brains, we have the capability. Let India bring cures to the world rather than only adopting those cures. And with Vikasit Bharat, with many of the initiatives on PLI, we are on the track. I think we need to accelerate that track. And I would just say that the private sector is ready. The government is also working hard. If public also come into this equation, together we can create a healthier and a happier India. But it is important for this to be high up on the national agenda. Because as we're becoming an economic superpower, as we move to, fourth place to third place, can we enjoy that wealth if we don't have the health? So please, let's put health high up on the agenda for every home, for every individual.
Thank you very much, Dr. Reddy. It was a pleasure speaking to you. I'm hoping that the awareness that you essentially want, it reaches to every home, every household, and hopefully we are a healthier India.
Absolutely. Look forward to it, and thank you very much. I want to end by saying that our vision is really that we can heal in India because people from all over the world, from 140 countries, they come to us for care. So have that trust factor. If the rest of the world is coming here, there must be something good happening in Indian hospitals. The second is heal from India. We can create remote care. We have the doctors and the nurses. And the third is heal by India. Our young people with our positive demographic, there's a 17 million shortage of healthcare professionals across the world. India can train and help to fill that gap. So there's a tremendous future in the health sector. Let's get together and make it happen. Thank you.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
China and Japan are clashing verbally over Taiwan. Tensions between China and Japan have risen over Taiwan's security. Japan has signaled it may intervene in a potential conflict, viewing it as a threat to its own stability. China condemned this as meddling, issuing strong warnings and summoning diplomats. This conflict started when Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, issued a direct warning to China during a session of the country's parliament. She stated that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could represent a survival-threatening situation for Japan, implying that Tokyo might need to intervene militarily to protect its interests. This marked a bold escalation in Japan's stance on the Taiwan issue, signaling readiness to support Taiwan against potential Chinese action. Takaichi's comments, delivered amid rising regional tensions, prompted an immediate and sharp rebuke from Beijing, highlighting the fragile balance in East Asia and the risk of broader confrontation.
The remarks made by the Japanese leader on Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations. Such words are extremely irresponsible and dangerous in nature and have caused very negative impact.
Taiwan is an island of 23 million people, situated about 100 miles off China's southeast coast. China regards it as a breakaway province under the One China principle, insisting that other countries acknowledge this and avoid treating Taiwan as a sovereign state. Taiwan, however, maintains its own government, conducts elections, and runs an independent economy, a setup rooted in 1949 when China's civil war concluded with the defeated nationalist forces retreating to the island while the communists consolidated power on the mainland. This division has persisted without full-scale war, but mutual distrust has grown. China has intensified its military presence around Taiwan in recent years, viewing reunification as a national goal. For instance, in October this year, H-6K bombers from the People's Liberation Army Air Force conducted flights over the island, while June exercises involved over 70 aircraft, including J-16 fighters and unmanned drones, crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait. Naval operations have featured Type O-52D destroyers and Type O-54A frigates patrolling the waters. Beijing frames these as defensive drills to deter independence moves.
Japan claims to be a peace-loving nation, yet the Takaichi administration has made vague and ambiguous
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Very good evening, viewers. You're watching the latest edition of 6 Stories at 6 with me, Ayana Mitra. Over the next half an hour, I'll be taking you through the details of those 6 stories which have dominated the headlines today. So here we go. Up first, they say on record that all is well. But Republic Kannada has the inside details of how Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister D.K. Shivakumar is really batting for the post of the Chief Minister. Second, amid continued speculation over Imran Khan, his sister Noreen Niazi has now spoken to Republic TV, warning Asim Munir of dire consequences in Pakistan. Also on the show, a simulated explanation of why thousands of Airbus A320 planes have been grounded worldwide. Next, we bring you a controversial remark by an AIMIM leader and why the BJP is claiming it as a call for anarchy in Maharashtra. Then, we take you back to the investigation of the 10/11 blast, where the NIA has now fleshed out more details of the terror money trail. And finally, Vladimir Putin is in India soon. What to expect and how significant is this visit really? With that, let's get started. Our viewers, earlier today, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah hosted his Deputy CM DK Shivakumar for a breakfast meeting at his official residence in Bengaluru, a move that is being seen as an attempt to smoothen jitters within the ruling party amid a fierce power tussle. At their joint press briefing later, both the leaders dismissed rumours of a rift. The Chief Minister even went on to say that there was no differences, that the welfare of the state remains paramount. But Republic Kanda has the details of what is really brewing within the two camps. Take a look.
In a show of unity, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah and Deputy Chief Minister DK Shivakumar met for breakfast at the Chief Minister's residence, a meeting pushed by the Congress High Command after weeks of tension. The backdrop, a continuing tussle over the Chief Ministerial post, with the Shivakumar's camp insisting that the 2023 mid-term power-sharing formula be honoured. The breakfast, complete with upma, idli and kesri bath, clearly choreographed to send a message that the party is united. Afterward, both leaders said there were no differences and that they were focused on the 2028 assembly polls and the upcoming local body elections.
ನಾನು DK ಶಿವಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಉಪಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳು ಹೊನ್ನಣ್ಣ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿದ್ದರು. ನಾವು ಮೂರು ಜನರು ಕೂಡ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗಿಯಾಗಿದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲೇನೂ ಮಾತಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ.
We all have joined together, we have worked together. The party, as the entire workers of the state, have jointly supported us, and the people of Karnataka has blessed us with a massive mandate. Today we discussed the strategy of 28, we discussed the strategy of 8 assembly session which is going to be held, how to tackle the opposition party. We will do it. Whatever they do politics, they may try to create a lot of issues, we are ready to answer to them.
The two rather tried to deflect the issue from Congress leadership crisis to BJP's plan to move a no-confidence motion in the winter session starting 8th of December.
The unity will continue. We are together. Myself and the President of the KPCC and Deputy Chief Minister, Mr. DK Shivakumar, and myself are single. We are you are united. You are united, and there is no differences between DK Shivakumar and myself.
Both leaders repeated the phrase high command multiple times, signaling that any decision on leadership will come from Delhi.
ಈ ರಾಜ್ಯದ ಜನತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಪಾರವಾದಂಥ ವಿಶ್ವಾಸ ನಂಬಿಕೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮಗೆ ಸಹಕಾರವನ್ನು ಕೊಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರ ಆಸೆ ಆಕಾಂಕ್ಷೆ ಆಶೋತ್ತರಗಳನ್ನು ಈಡೇರಿಸಬೇಕಾದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮೆಲ್ಲರ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಆ ನಿಟ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಕ್ಷ ಅಧಿಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯನವರ ನೇತೃತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ಕಾರ ರಚನೆ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಿಂದೆ ಹೈಕಮಾಂಡ್ ಅವರು ಏನು ತೀರ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಆ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ.
The meeting comes at the halfway mark of Siddaramaiah's term, the point many believed would see a transition to Shivakumar after Congress's 2023 victory.
Karnataka, what is happening? You can be witnessing what happened in Bangalore. Nothing will happen. Congress will be united. They are together now in Bangalore. Okay.
But despite the smiling pictures, sources say that no deal has been finalized. No timeline, no written commitment, and no clarity on the Chief Minister handover.
Very, very crucial stage in Karnataka politics. DK Shivakumar and Siddaramaiah fight become the street fight now. The Congress High Command is weak High Command. That's why the power sharing 2.5 years, 2.5 years power sharing, that have to implement. That's a demand of DK Kumar. But Siddaramaiah is not leaving.
Republic sources say Siddaramaiah is unwilling to step down mid-term, while Shivakumar does not have the numbers to force a transition, making a smooth compromise unlikely. Their rivalry has resurfaced repeatedly, shaped by caste equations, clashing loyalists, and competing political ambitions. DK Shivakumar now heads to Delhi to meet central leaders, while Siddaramaiah stays back. Another sign the unity may be temporary and the decision will rest with the High Command. Today's breakfast may have calmed headlines, but the underlying power struggle and the question of who will lead Karnataka remains wide open. Unity was the message, but uncertainty remains the reality.
Viewers, former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's sister Noreen has spoken to Republic, raising serious concerns about his safety and the condition in which he is being held in Pakistan's Adiala jail. Tell-all conversation, she reveals how the family has not been allowed to meet Imran Khan for several weeks despite clear court orders, and why the end for Pakistan may just be inching closer should Asim Munir choose foul play.
They haven't allowed the family to meet him for several weeks, and that concerns us because we've got court orders that we should be allowed to meet him. The jail regulations say that we can meet him once a week, and court orders say that on every Tuesday lawyers and family is supposed to meet Imran Khan. So why would they isolate him?
I don't think they can even touch him. It's not easy to assault Imran Khan.
Noreen Niazi, one of the three sisters of Imran Khan, while speaking to Republic, expressed anguish over the prevailing situation in Pakistan. In the explosive conversation, Niazi alleged that the authorities in Pakistan are not allowing her and the others to meet Imran for over 4 weeks and have no clarity on his condition.
What is the condition of Imran Khan? The world today is asking, is the former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan alive?
Yes, we don't know the latest status of him because we have been disconnected with him from last 3 to 4 weeks. And now these rumors are being taken out to make people more anxious about it. I think he is, I believe he's all right because the jail authorities claim that they've told the people outside that he's all right. But he should be all right. Nobody should even touch him. But what is the issue of not letting anyone in to see him, to meet him? That's a concern we have.
She also went on to express her fears, claiming that the family is not safe in Pakistan, but reaffirmed they will not leave the country and continue to fight for the rights of people.
You and your family members, do you all feel safe currently in Pakistan?
We are not safe, but we will never leave Pakistan. We will stay here. We will fight for Pakistan, for Pakistan and for the people of Pakistan. We are not afraid. I'm not afraid. You know, they could beat me, and they can even kill me. I think they can kill me, or they can kill anyone because they've killed so many people.
You're telling the international media today that you could be killed?
They can kill because they've killed so many people.
Meanwhile, Niazi also stressed on the extent of media censorship in the country.
Why exactly will the government and the army prevent you all from meeting? What is the larger conspiracy here?
I think they don't want his voice to come out. They don't want, because when we go and meet him, he gives a message for outside, and they can't take that message even because they are scared to listen to his name. They have stopped all channels in Pakistan. Imran Khan's name can't be taken on any TV channel, government channels. and they have never shown, they've never taken him out of jail to any court. They don't want people to see him, and they know how much people love him. Once he's out to a court, all roads will be filled with people wanting to see him.
On the other hand, Imran's sister Alima Khan also spoke exclusively to Republic, explaining the ordeal the family is facing.
When we protested 8 days ago, we were just not even protesting. We said we won't leave from outside the jail, and we were about, I think, 400 meters away from the jail. And we are sitting on a footpath, and the police, they brought in policewomen and they attacked us, my sister. They were dragging my 71-year-old sister on the road, and she passed out, and we're just thankful that she was not badly injured.
Imran's sister Alima also made an explosive claim. She said that Imran was given an offer: leave the country and all the charges against him would be dropped.
They had offered that he can leave the country and all charges will be dropped. He said, I'll face my case.
And this offer came from whom?
Myself. From the establishment. Indirectly, messages have been sent to him. Messages were given to us indirectly. People sort of approach us and say, he should sort this out, and he should sort of agree to what is being offered, like keep quiet, don't do politics, do not say anything against, let this rigged government continue. So, or leave the country. These are various offers that we've been, not directly, but indirectly, we have been given these messages.
On being asked whether the family will speak to Shehbaz Sharif, Alima mentioned that he had no powers and the only person who holds the decision is Asim Munir.
Ms. Khan, then what is the next plan of action? Is the family once again planning to sit outside Adiala jail? Will you be speaking to, will you be making a representation before the Pakistani Prime Minister?
No. Poor man, he doesn't have any powers. He has to ask. When the Chief Minister of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa spoke to him and said to arrange for his visit, the Prime Minister told him, let me check, let me ask.
And whom was he asking?
Doesn't have any power. Well, Asim Munir, obviously. There's only one power in Pakistan, as my brother has said. If you go through my brother's tweets, that's the very reason that he's been isolated.
Okay, viewers, moving on, over 6,000 A320 aircraft worldwide have been grounded after a critical software flaw was discovered in their flight control systems. In response, the European Union Aviation Safety Agency has issued an emergency directive requiring all affected jets to undergo an immediate software rollback. But while the fix in itself typically takes a few hours, the scale of grounding hitting more than half of the global A320 fleet has thrown travel plans into chaos around the world. What is this all about? What impact will it have on India? Take a look.
Flights all over the world are experiencing a major disruption after Airbus issued an alert and said that up to 6,000 active A320 aircraft may require upgrades. Airbus conducted a recent analysis and identified the root vulnerability in the aircraft's elevator and aileron computer, that is the ELAC. Now, ELAC is the computer that interprets pilot side stick inputs and controls the aircraft's pitch, or how the nose moves up and down. Responding to the Airbus software issue, President of the Federation of Indian Pilots, Captain C.S. Randhawa, stated the reason.
The aircraft was flying in cruise altitude and it lost height in the incident in which more than 15 passengers got injured. And all this time the autopilot remained engaged. So there was a malfunction in the elevator aileron control computer, And thereafter, Airbus took it seriously.
Following the alert issued by Airbus, DGCA released a safety directive for certain Airbus models. According to the notification, no person is allowed to operate the listed aircraft model unless they comply with the mandatory modification. It is believed that the ground checks of Airbus will be completed by 11:59 p.m. in the night that may lead to several flight disruptions.
The problem that came up was because JetBlue Airbus 320 aircraft lost height while cruising and lost height without pilot's input. So that was investigated because 15 people were injured, and so they found that the electronic flight computers, ELAC, that is elevator and aileron computers, there are two of them in Airbus 320. One of them malfunctioned, and the malfunction was towards the software glitch that their manufacturers are saying could happen because of solar radiation.
The Airbus upgradation has nearly affected as many as 113 aircraft of Air India and 25 of Air India Express. Meanwhile, 200 airplanes of Indigo have been affected. After the Airbus update, Air India advised all the passengers to check flight status before leaving for airport. With approximately 11,300 A320 family aircraft operating worldwide, the affected 6,000 jets serve airlines across 6 contingents, making the issue a serious emergency.
Now, viewers, fresh controversy erupted in Maharashtra after a shocking video of AIMIM MLA Majid Hussain went viral. The Hyderabad legislature was seen issuing a direct threat during a public rally. The remarks have now triggered major political tremors, with the BJP coming out and accusing him of fueling divisive politics during an already heated campaign season.
Fresh controversy erupted in Maharashtra as AIMIM MLA Majid Hussain issued a direct threat at a rally in Washim of Maharashtra. The video is now viral and the political heat is rising. This happened at a public meeting in Bhagwanpura ahead of the Washim Municipal Council elections. Majid Hussain, an MLA from Nampally, Hyderabad, made an open warning from the stage. Majid Hussain, AIMIM MLA from Nampally of Hyderabad, made an open threat from the stage. The incendiary speech triggered immediate reactions online, drawing attention to the heated political atmosphere in Maharashtra. This is not the first time the MLA has faced controversy. He's been previously booked for abusing cops and threatening a landowner. And now the BJP has taken on AIMIM for threatening remarks.
मजहब को सुरक्षा कवच बनाकर शरीयत का बहाना लेकर AIMIM के लोग हमेशा से राजनीति करते आए हैं। इस तरह की गंदी राजनीति आपके हैदराबाद में तो चल सकती है, लेकिन महाराष्ट्र में बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगी, क्योंकि महाराष्ट्र की एकता, अखंडता, भाईचारा हमेशा से पूरे विश्व में जाना पहचाना जाता है। हमारी एकता, अखंडता, भाईचारा को यदि आप तोड़ने का प्रयास करेंगे तो इसका अंजाम बहुत ही बुरा होगा।
As the political temperature spikes in Maharashtra, Hussain's remarks have once again brought the debate on divisive politics to the center stage.
In the national capital, viewers, the Al-Falah University in Faridabad has now exploded. The investigation into the university, in fact, has exploded into one of the biggest terror-linked investigations in the 10/11 Delhi blast case. After 19 days, the National Investigation Agency has recovered 18 lakh rupees in cash hidden inside a bag in the wardrobe of terrorist Shaheen. The agency is now probing the source of this money, especially since Shaheen had purchased a Brezza car entirely in cash just days before her arrest. Here are the latest details.
In a startling discovery, NIA officials have recovered 18 lakh rupees in cash from the wardrobe of the suspected terrorist Dr. Shaheen. The money was concealed in a simple polythene bag inside room number 22 that belonged to Shaheen. On September 25th, Shaheen purchased a Brezza car using cash. The National Investigation Agency is now trying to determine the source of large sum. During the raid, the NIA also searched Shaheen's locker in the admin block of Al Falah University campus. Meanwhile, the founder, Jawad Ahmed Siddiqui, is also under huge scrutiny and is believed to have routed funds through a UK-registered company linked to his son, who holds a UK citizenship. The ED has opened a parallel probe into the investment of those funds, suspecting they were obtained by misleading people and laundering money through son's overseas firm. In a separate development, the Delhi blast case continues to expand. The NIA has recorded statements from 30 doctors at Al Falah Medical College. Those questioned have described the terror Dr. Omar as rude and selective about who entered his room. Investigators recovered 4 videos from Omar's phone. One shows him justifying jihad and human bombs. The other 3 are similar short clips lasting 3 to 5 minutes each. The phone is being analyzed to track down his accomplices. On the other hand, the Delhi police have issued a notice to private hospitals seeking information on doctors who graduated from Pakistan, Bangladesh, the UAE or China are now practicing in the capital. The multiple investigations into the cash stash, alleged fund routing through a university and the Delhi blast case highlight the web of financial and terror links that are now under investigation.
Finally, ladies and gentlemen, it's a big week ahead in New Delhi, where Russian President Vladimir Putin is due in India soon for the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit. This is his first visit since the war in Ukraine began. At the top of the agenda is defense, energy and trade, while New Delhi is also expected to discuss procuring additional units of the S-400 air defense system and possibly consider advanced fighter jets under the proposed collaboration with Moscow. Take a look.
Visuals of Prime Minister Modi sharing a limousine ride with Russian Premier Putin are still fresh in diplomatic circles. The MEA has now confirmed Putin's 2-day visit to India for the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit.
A landmark diplomatic event is just around the corner as the state visit of the Russian President Vladimir Putin has just been confirmed. Set for December 4th and 5th, 2025, this will be President Putin's first visit to New Delhi since the onset of the Ukraine crisis, a testament to the resilience of India-Russia bond amid the global headwind. At the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Putin arrives for the 23rd India-Russia Annual Summit, a cornerstone for the bilateral diplomacy.
The announcement, made by the Indian Ministry of External Affairs and confirmed by the Russian Kremlin, comes amid continued US sanctions on India and will be watched closely by the world.
This particular occasion, for me, is all the more important as we prepare for President Putin's visit to India for the 23rd Annual Summit. A number of bilateral agreements, initiatives and projects are under discussion in various fields. We look forward to the finalization in the coming days. This will certainly add more substance and texture to our special and privileged strategic partnership.
Putin's visit to India in December holds an unusual diplomatic weight. This will be the Russian Premier's first visit to India after the Russia-Ukraine war. This is also the time when India is under US sanctions, majorly because of Russian oil imports. And the visit is special also because New Delhi remains one of the very few capitals in the world that can host Putin as he has International Criminal Court's arrest warrant on him. But India is not party to the ICC.
Area of our discussion is very important. I think we are looking toward a further expansion and further intensification of our economic relationship. This is our bilateral track. It is developing independently for the benefit of our economies and our nations.
With a forward-looking attitude, the two global powers are expected to focus upon strengthening bilateral ties, strategic cooperation and coordination on regional and global issues.
The visit is going to be crucial from the defence perspective as well, as Indian Defence Secretary Rajesh Kumar Singh did not rule out India's acquisition of additional S-400 missile systems while talking about Putin's visit.
In a sense, giving advance warning of what have to be cabinet decisions. So I'm not going to talk about specific platforms, but we have a very large defense program which are delayed, but which they've now promised to deliver the balance 2 batteries in the coming financial year.
That's all that we had for you in this edition of 6 Stories at 6. But do stay on with us. More news and updates on the other side. Thanks for watching.
MDH की देगी मीरज,
देगी मिरज का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मीरज।
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates: IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, राजा और मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने, सब कुछ मजेदार बने। MDH।
Pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
So in the past, we would see most of the terrorists who would get arrested, they would be like the people who would be working at a very low level. But today we have seen the white-collar suspect.
कश्मीर घाटी में डॉक्टर्स एक बहुत अल्टीमेट ड्रीम होता है वहां के लड़के लड़कियों का। उस बनने के बावजूद अगर आप रेडिकलाइज होकर अपने ही देशवासियों को मारने के लिए और अपने देश को तोड़ने के लिए तैयार हो सकते हैं, तो आप अंदाजा लगाइए किस तरह की रेडिकलाइजेशन हो रही है और इस फ्रंट पे हम क्या काम कर रहे हैं।
Some sports are measured in meters. Others in time. But hers is measured in the single most critical unit of all.
Hello everyone, I'm Manu Bhaker. I'm the Indian pistol shooter.
The millisecond of absolute stillness.
When I'm triggering, then I'm only triggering. Then I'm only just doing that.
In a world defined by noise, movement and chaos, Manu Bhaker seeks an environment of terrifying absolute silence. This is not a sport of speed. It's a battle for the stillness of the soul. The target is small. The distance is vast. And the pressure is paralyzing. To hit the center is to conquer gravity, to conquer time, and most crucially, to conquer oneself. This is the journey of an athlete who found her calling in the calm, a prodigy who chose the most unforgiving path. This is the ultimate test of nerve, where every heartbeat is an enemy, and where a steady hand holds the weight of a billion hopes. This is the story of a champion made for gold.
शूटिंग काफ़ी ओपन स्पोर्ट है, इट्स वेरी ट्रांसपेरेंट। बाकी स्पोर्ट्स मैंने खेले हैं, बॉक्सिंग, कराटे एंड ऑल, उसमें देयर जूरीज और उसमें थोड़ा चीटिंग का स्कोप बढ़ जाता है। तो बट शूटिंग इज़ अ स्पोर्ट कि जिसमें आप जैसा परफॉर्म करते हो वैसा ही आता है। जो आपके स्कोर्स हैं उसके बेसिस पे इंडिया रैंक आती है, एंड देन उसी के बेसिस पे यू रिप्रेजेंट इंडिया, यू मेक इट टू द टीम एंड देन यू गो आउटसाइड टू प्ले। फॉर मी देयर इज़ नो एज लिमिट कि आप 18 साल के हो तो आप 20 साल में अंडर 20 में ही खेल सकते हो एंड ऑल, एंड देन देयर इज़ नो वेट कैटेगरी और एनीथिंग। तो आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी लिबरेटिंग स्पोर्ट और मुझे काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग भी लगता है बिकॉज मेंटल एनर्जी ज़्यादा यूज़ होती है, ज़्यादा कंज्यूमिंग है ये स्पोर्ट। देयर इज़ नो डिफरेंस एज सच कि जेंडर में कि लड़का अच्छा कर रहा है लड़की अच्छा कर रही है एंड ऑल, तो इट्स ऑलमोस्ट इक्वल। सो दैट्स द ब्यूटी ऑफ द स्पोर्ट। शूटिंग इसलिए मुझे ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है बिकॉज आई रियली इन्जॉय इट इवन टुडे, इवन आफ्टर लाइक ऑलमोस्ट 10 years नाउ, मुझे अभी भी बहुत मज़ा आता है। आई रियली इन्जॉय इट एंड फॉर एज लॉन्ग एज आई इन्जॉय इट आई विल शूट।
मैंने जब छोटी थी ना तो वो कोई भी गेम देखने जाती थी, तो फॉर एग्जांपल वो बॉक्सिंग का एक बार टूर्नामेंट चल रहा था, तो जैसे वो हुक मारना है, किसी को कुछ मारना, तो ये इसके हाथ ऐसे चल रहे थे, छोटी सी थी तब, उसे ऐसे मारते मारते वो इसका भाई इससे 2 साल बड़ा है, उसको लग गया यहाँ पे, वहीं पे खेल देखते देखते ऐसे ही, वो एक्साइटमेंट थी। स्पेशली मनु की जो मम्मी है वो एक अच्छी एथलीट थी, तो उनका एक ड्रीम था कि मैं अपनी बच्ची को एक लेवल पे करूं, बेटा बेटी जो भी हो।
Where others flinch, she finds clarity. Manu Bakar possessed the one thing that years of training cannot impart: the unshakable nerve to be perfectly, terrifyingly still. The range is where instinct and discipline finally merge.
The entire day I'll wake up around like 6 o'clock. I'll do my meditation, yoga, breathing and all. Then I'll get ready, have my breakfast and to the range by 9 o'clock, and 9 to I would say 5 o'clock I do 2 sessions of training. So 9 to 1 is first session, and then 1 to 2:30 is lunch, then 3 to 5 is another session. So it's like पूरा दिन ही शूटिंग में ही निकल जाता है. After that I have physiotherapy. उसके बाद I have my workouts for like 1.5 hours or so, and then by the time I'm done for the day, it's like the day is only खत्म ही हो गया.
The pistol is not just a tool, it's an extension of a mind designed for perfection. Every breath is controlled, every muscle is disciplined, and every thought is banished. Her journey to the world stage was rapid because her foundation was built on an iron will. She quickly became the measure of success, the standard of focus.
आई थिंक सभी स्पोर्ट्स के अपने अपने चैलेंजेस हैं, सभी इवन आउटसाइड ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स ऑल्सो पढ़ाई में अपने चैलेंजेस हैं. तो आई वुड से कि आप कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते हो आप शूटिंग को आर्चरी से, या फिर जो कि वेरी क्लोज जिसके वो आते हैं, बहुत ही सिमिलर स्पोर्ट है. तो इट्स जस्ट अबाउट कि एथलेटिक्स भाई आप 10 सेकेंड में आप दौड़ के ख़त्म कर दो, डजंट मीन इट्स ईजी. सो इट्स लाइक कि अपना अपना चैलेंज है. आई मीन इफ़ यू आर हेल्दी एंड यू हैव गुड स्ट्रेंथ, यू कैन बी अ गुड शूटर. बस डिसिप्लिन पे डिपेंड करता है. अगर आप डिसिप्लिन हो तो आप डेफिनेटली विल बी एबल टू डू वेरी गुड इन द स्पोर्ट.
जब आपके बच्चे होते हैं ना स्कूल जाने लायक, तो आप सोचते हो कि मैं बच्चे को कौन से स्कूल में डालूं. मैंने ये सोचा था कि मैं अपने बच्चों के लिए स्कूल खोलूं, और मैंने खोला और उसी में मनु पड़ी. तो एज ए पेरेंट्स हमें बच्चे को थोड़ा सा दूर का सोचना चाहिए कि हमें उनको क्या चाहिए आपको. जो चीज़ें, और दूसरा क्या होता है कि मम्मी पापा को जो चीज़ें नहीं मिलती है या टाइम पे या उनको अपॉर्चुनिटी नहीं मिलती है तो वो बच्चों को ज़रूर करते हैं। जैसे बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स ना अपने बच्चों को बोलेंगे तू डॉक्टर बन जा, इंजीनियर बन जा। हो सकता है कि वो अपने ड्रीम्स जो कंप्लीट नहीं कर पाए उन पे डाल रहे हों।
She carries the heavy burden of genius, the expectation that perfection must be repeated time after time under the harshest scrutiny. But that pressure doesn't break her. It sharpens her focus. It forces her to be faster, cleaner, and more decisive than any rival.
सो आई फील कि मेहनत बहुत लोग करते हैं, पर थोड़ा सा जो स्लाइट डिफरेंस रह जाता है इज़ अबाउट कि आप कितना एक्स्ट्रा एफर्ट्स डालते हो। बिकॉज मेहनत तो सब लोग कर रहे हैं, बट आप वो एक्स्ट्रा क्या कर रहे हो कि आप दूसरों से बेटर कर लोगे। एवरी वन इज़ वर्किंग हार्ड, बट वॉट एम आई डूइंग एक्स्ट्रा कि मुझे उनसे बेटर पोजिशन मिले या उनसे बेटर मेरा स्कोर आए या फिर आउटकम आए। सो डिसिप्लिन वहीं पे आता है कि आप अपने गोल को लेके कितना कमिटेड हो, कि आपको कितना ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट लगता है आपका काम, आप उसके लिए कितना कुछ करने के लिए रेडी हो। तो इट्स अबाउट दैट कि थके हुए हो बट सुबह 5:30 उठना है तो उठना है। बट समटाइम्स पीपल आर लाइक कि थोड़ा सा और सो लेता हूँ या थोड़ा सा और सो लेती हूँ एंड ऑल। फिर शूटिंग में यू फील टायर्ड कि भाई 3 घंटे हो गए अभी बस करना है, बट you know that little extra might help you achieve little better scores. So even in workouts and all I feel like कि अगर मैं थोड़ा सा और strengthening कर लूँगी तो मे बी मेरी stability और improve हो जाएगी। Rehab कोई भी नहीं करता है। Rehab is very important because those छोटी छोटी muscles जिसको आप हर रोज़ यूज़ करते हो उनको strength कर रहे हो, उनकी stability improve होती है जो ultimately आपका sport improve करती है। So these छोटी छोटी चीज़ें makes a bigger difference.
The true competition happens long before the finals is called. It's a war against her own heartbeat, against the minute, insidious tremor in her finger, against the internal voice whispering of doubt.
I would like to talk about Commonwealth Games. So I was 16 years old that time and मैंने जीता था मेडल, बट मुझे आइडिया नहीं था कि what Commonwealth Games means. और मुझे थोड़ा बहुत ऐसे लगा था कि हाँ मैंने परफॉर्म अच्छा कर दिया, सर विल बी हैप्पी, माई कोच वुड बी हैप्पी, मुझे बस उतना ही था। और कि मेडल आ गया तो आई एम ऑल्सो काइंड ऑफ हैप्पी, सेटिस्फाइड विद माई परफॉर्मेंस, आई स्कोर्ड वेरी गुड, इट वॉज अ कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स रिकॉर्ड एंड देन फाइनल्स ऑल्सो इट वॉज अ रिकॉर्ड, सो वॉज हैप्पी लाइक दैट। बट जैसे ही उसके बाद मुझे मीडिया से कॉल्स आने लगे, न्यूज़पेपर में बहुत सारे आर्टिकल्स आए, न्यूज़ में भी बहुत सारी बातें हुई, तो दैट वाज द मोमेंट आई रियलाइज कि ओके कॉमनवेल्थ गेम्स इज समथिंग बिगर, इट्स नॉट कि बस ऐसे ही कोई कंपटीशन जाके आप खेला और जीत लिया। So I think that was eye-opening moment for me.
Training for Manu Bhaker is about repetition until perfection becomes instinct. Until the 10 ring is the only place the bullet can land.
ओलंपिक्स में काफ़ी सारे लोगों ने लाइव देखे थे मैचेस, जो कि इट मेक्स मी फील वेरी हैप्पी कि वी फील स्ट्रॉन्गर कि सो मेनी पीपल आर रूटिंग फॉर अस। बहुत सारे लोग चीयर कर रहे थे वहाँ पे जब व्हेन आई वाज शूटिंग इन द फाइनल्स, तो काफ़ी सारे लोग पीछे चीयर कर रहे थे, तो कहीं ना कहीं वो एक थोड़ी स्ट्रेंथ मिलती है कि बहुत सारे लोग हैं रूटिंग फॉर मी एंड आई कांट गिव अप एट दिस मोमेंट, आई हैव टू गिव माई बेस्ट, आई हैव टू ट्राई माई बेस्ट, so it's also a motivation and of course it feels very good.
अब मनु का निशाना तो मनु के दादाजी की तरह है, जो आर्मी में थे तो उनके यूनिट में कहते थे कि एक गोली और एक दुश्मन। तो उस टाइम पे ना 71 के वार में और 65 के वारों में यदि आप खोगे तो हमारे आर्मी के पास ना गिनित गोलियां मिलती थी, तो वो जो निशाना होता था उनकी यूनिट के कहते थे कि एक गोली एक दुश्मन, तो ये इतने 12 दुश्मन तो ये मारे गए। तो मनु का भी लगभग वैसा ही निशाना रहा, अच्छा निशाना रहा है।
She's the master of the mental game, turning the chaos of a packed Olympic stadium into a personal, solitary tunnel of light, leading only to the bullseye. Her focus is an armor. Her discipline is the fuel. She understands that the weight of the moment is nothing compared to the weight of the goal.
So first of all, it's an honor to represent India at the world stages, and whenever I go for any competition, it's also not just honor but also a responsibility कि I am representing entire nation. We are like ambassadors of our country. जब भी हम बाहर जाते हैं तो we have to यहाँ पे भी of course, but बाहर जाते हैं तो extra हो जाता है कि we have to be mindful of what we do and how we are as person and what kind of behavior we display. But when it comes to sports, I would say it's absolute honor for me. So मुझे काफ़ी blessed लगता है कि I am at this stage जहाँ मुझे ये मौका मिल रहा है. And I think cherry on the top is कि जब आप कोई competition जीतते हो और आपका national anthem बजता है किसी दूसरे country में और सब लोग उसके honor में खड़े होते हैं, that is the best feeling ever. और nothing can top that feeling.
She spends years pursuing a perfection that lasts only a fraction of a second. This relentless pursuit of zero error, that is the discipline of a mind made for gold.
जैसे अभी I came from World Championship and I finished 5th and 7th in both my events. I scored pretty decent in both of them. So I am just analyzing कि भाई क्या हुआ था, why did I not finish on the podium और इससे better हो सकता था, वो क्यों नहीं हुआ and all. So अभी I sit with my coach, I discuss कि ये चीज़ें थी जिसमें मैंने थोड़ी गड़बड़ कर दी या फिर I lagged in these things जिसकी वजह से स्कोर थोड़ा कम रह गया या फिर फाइनल्स में मैं उतना अच्छा नहीं कर पाई. तो हर एक मैच के बाद ऐसा एनालिसिस आई डू एंड this one also we talked majorly about the final performance. I can do so much better in finals, but why I'm stuck at 5th position, 5th rank and 6th rank and all. So I was just discussing about that और उसके अकॉर्डिंग ही वी चेंज द ट्रेनिंग प्रोसेस ऑल्सो. अगर मुझे क्वालिफिकेशन में किसी में प्रॉब्लम हुई कि चलो ये एक सीरीज़ शायद ख़राब हो गई या जो भी, तो आई वुड बी लाइक कि ठीक है मुझे स्टैमिना बढ़ाने की ज़रूरत है, तो आई विल जस्ट वर्क मोर ऑन माई स्टैमिना, इम्प्रूव माई स्टेबिलिटी एंड ऑल इन दैट.
The moment arrives. The crowd freezes, holds its breath. The crosshairs are locked on a mark barely visible to the naked eye. The air is dense with anticipation. In that split second, all the sweat, all the solitude, all the ambition, it all funnels into one perfect, clean shot.
I do not expect to win every competition, so whenever the target is कि भाई this competition I have to give my best, I have to try and perform the best that I can, I always give my best and उसके बाद I don't think about कि medals क्या आएंगे, चाहे bronze हो, चाहे silver हो, चाहे gold हो. Gold है तो of course it's the best. Who doesn't want to win? Who doesn't want to finish on the top of the podium? I would also love that and I would be really happy to be on the top.
एज ए फादर तो मैं यही कहूँगा कि मानो जो एक्सपेक्टेशन थी उन पे सब पे खरी उतरती है.
When the trigger is finally squeezed, it's not an action. It is a release. It is the final loud declaration of years of silent, unyielding work.
गोल्ड तो सभी के लिए ड्रीम होता है कि वो जाए गोल्ड जीतेगा, बट ये है कि कोच के लिए, शूटर के लिए, एथलीट के लिए गोल्ड का बहुत बड़ा इसमें रोल रहता है. जब सक्सेस मिलने के बाद जो उसको जो एक अलग सा फील आता है, पोडियम पे जाने के बाद जो नेशनल एंथम हमारी जो कंट्री का नेशनल एंथम चलता है, तो उसके बाद जो नेक्स्ट चैम्पियनशिप के लिए आता है ना कि नेक्स्ट में भी मुझे गोल्ड जीतना है, तो बहुत ज़्यादा उसमें मैं इमेजिन कर नहीं सकता, मैं समझा नहीं सकता कि कितना अच्छा प्राउड फील होता है.
गोल्ड को सारी उम्र याद रखा जाता है, ब्रांज और सिल्वर को भूल जाते हैं लोग. ओलंपिक में आई थिंक एग्जैक्टली तो नहीं पता, बट 127 आदमी गए थे. 127 आदमी में से सिर्फ 6 का नाम याद है. तो गोल्ड होता है. यू कांट से कि ये ब्रॉन्ज और ये है, बट ठीक है, ओलंपिक में जाना इतना बड़ा कंपटीशन है वहाँ पे ना, अपने आप में धड़कन बढ़ जाती है। बस खिलाड़ी खेलने वाले की छोड़ दो, जो टीवी पे देख रहे होते हैं आप और हम और कोई भी, उनकी भी धड़कन ऐसे होती है कि यू कांट प्रेडिक्ट। तो वहाँ पे खेलना अपने आप में बहुत बड़ा ऑनर होता है कि आप इंडिया को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हो, और उसके ऊपर पोडियम में आना बहुत बड़ी बात होती है। और सोने पे सुहागा तो तब होता है जब आप गोल्ड लेते हो, तभी आपका राष्ट्रीय गान बजता है।
Her dedication is a promise kept to the nation. She was born to hit the center. She was born to endure the pressure. She was born to win. She is the architect of precision. She is the embodiment of focus. She is a champion who was truly made for gold.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो, मिलाओ और खाओ,
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने, सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा।
China and Japan are clashing verbally over Taiwan. Tensions between China and Japan have risen over Taiwan's security. Japan has signaled it may intervene in a potential conflict, viewing it as a threat to its own stability. China condemned this as meddling, issuing strong warnings and summoning diplomats. This conflict started when Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, issued a direct warning to China during a session of the country's parliament. She stated that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could represent a survival-threatening situation for Japan, implying that Tokyo might need to intervene militarily to protect its interests. This marked a bold escalation in Japan's stance on the Taiwan issue, signaling readiness to support Taiwan against potential Chinese action. Takaichi's comments, delivered amid rising regional tensions, prompted an immediate and sharp rebuke from Beijing, highlighting the fragile balance in East Asia and the risk of broader confrontation.
The remarks made by the Japanese leader on Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations. Such words are extremely irresponsible and dangerous in nature and have caused very negative impact.
Taiwan is an island of 23 million people, situated about 100 miles off China's southeast coast. China regards it as a breakaway province under the One China principle, insisting that other countries acknowledge this and avoid treating Taiwan as a sovereign state. Taiwan, however, maintains its own government, conducts elections, and runs an independent economy, a setup rooted in 1949 when China's civil war concluded with the defeated nationalist forces retreating to the island while the communists consolidated power on the mainland. This division has persisted without...
I actually can't stop. The problem is I asked ChatGPT once. No. ChatGPT said, what do rich people do? Okay?
But they asked ChatGPT.
अब rich people क्या करते हैं? What do rich people do? तो उसने बोला 2-3 चीजें करते हैं. They said one is you start serving humanity. which is what a Bill Gates Foundation would do, or a Aziz Premji. Second is do something which humanity has never done, which is like probably a colonizing Mars, which probably an Elon Musk might be doing. And there are third type of people who are obsessed with challenges, obsessed with growth, obsessed with opportunities, obsessed with doing something different. And that I think is me. I think I am obsessed with growth, challenges, competition. And that drives me super. Life will go on. I will never retire. I don't think I will ever retire.
I am also never going to retire.
Yeah.
I think we'll continue.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ 8 मिनट में तैयार क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर्गन मसाला
In the global employability rankings by Times Higher Education UK, only the following 6 institutions from India are ranked amongst the top 230 in the world for having the most employable graduates. IIT Delhi, IISc Bangalore, IIT Bombay, IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Kharagpur and Amity University.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा, सबका राजा आर्गन मसाला। सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
So in the past, we would see most of the terrorists who would get arrested, they would be like the people who would be working at a very low level. But today we have seen the white collar suspect.
कश्मीर घाटी में डॉक्टर्स एक बहुत अल्टीमेट ड्रीम होता है वहां के लड़के लड़कियों का। उस बनने के बावजूद अगर आप रेडिकलाइज होकर अपने ही देशवासियों को मारने के लिए और अपने देश को तोड़ने के लिए तैयार हो सकते हैं, तो आप अंदाजा लगाइए किस तरह की रेडिकलाइजेशन हो रही है और इस फ्रंट पे हम क्या काम कर रहे हैं।
Investigators have identified Maulvi Irfan Wagha, also known as Imam Irfan, from Shopian in South Kashmir, as the mastermind who blended his dual identity, that of a preacher and healthcare worker, to influence and radicalize the educated youth.
The accusation against him is completely baseless.
I did my MBA, went around, then I joined JBL, sir. There's a story also when I told my boss, sir, मेरे पैसे बढ़ा दो, उन्होंने बढ़ा ही नहीं, तो मैंने बोला मार्केट में मिलते हैं सर।
मार्केट में मिलते हैं। They were very aggressive, very aggressive. चलिए मार्केट।
Passionate, sir, passionate.
Passionate.
Yeah.
By the way, Aman, I also left Times Now. I started Times Now on my own.
Yeah.
And I left in 2016. I launched the product in 2017.
Yes.
But I did not use this line. मुझे भी यूज करना चाहिए था। मार्केट में मिलते हैं आप। You have to say it in a particular
Yeah,
tone.
it has to be said in like a
Swag, with swag.
Yeah. Market में मिलते हैं।
हाँ?
ऐसे बढ़ाओ मार्केट
पैसे बढ़ाओ मगर मार्केट में
नहीं तो
आर प्योर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी, एवरीडे।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रूंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रूंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग स्टिक भी बन सकती है।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल। ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े। क्या निराला MDH मसाला। आर प्योर सूजी पास्ता, उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ।
8 मिनट में तैयार।
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा आर प्योर मसाला।
China and Japan are clashing verbally over Taiwan. Tensions between China and Japan have risen over Taiwan's security. Japan has signaled it may intervene in a potential conflict, viewing it as a threat to its own stability. China condemned this as meddling, issuing strong warnings and summoning diplomats. This conflict started when Japan's newly appointed Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi, issued a direct warning to China during a session of the country's parliament. She stated that a conflict in the Taiwan Strait could represent a survival-threatening situation for Japan, implying that Tokyo might need to intervene militarily to protect its interests. This marked a bold escalation in Japan's stance on the Taiwan issue, signaling readiness to support Taiwan against potential Chinese action. Takaichi's comments, delivered amid rising regional tensions, prompted an immediate and sharp rebuke from Beijing, highlighting the fragile balance in East Asia and the risk of broader confrontation.
The remarks made by the Japanese leader on Taiwan constitute an interference in China's internal affairs and a serious violation of the One China principle and the basic norms governing international relations. Such words are extremely irresponsible and dangerous in nature and have caused very negative impact.
Taiwan is an island of 23 million people, situated about 100 miles off China's southeast coast. China regards it as a breakaway province under the One China principle, insisting that other countries acknowledge this and avoid treating Taiwan as a sovereign state. Taiwan, however, maintains its own government, conducts elections, and runs an independent economy, a setup rooted in 1949 when China's civil war concluded with the defeated nationalist forces retreating to the island while the communists consolidated power on the mainland. This division has persisted without full-scale war, but mutual distrust has grown. China has intensified its military presence around Taiwan in recent years, viewing reunification as a national goal. For instance, in October this year, H-6K bombers from the People's Liberation Army Air Force conducted flights over the island, while June exercises involved over 70 aircraft, including J-16 fighters and unmanned drones, crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait. Naval operations have featured Type O-52D destroyers and Type O-54A frigates patrolling the waters. Beijing frames these as defensive drills to deter independence moves.
Japan claims to be a peace-loving nation, yet the Takaichi administration has made vague and ambiguous remarks. China is seriously concerned about Japan's recent military and security developments.
In turn, the United States supplies Taiwan with arms like Patriot missiles and F-16 jets, offering security commitments without formal recognition. Allies, such as Japan, provide
By the way, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy, Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, I am sorry.
आप Shark Tank में आपने कहा कि first time you went to
बंदा sir, बंदा.
What is banda?
Banda means the person, the guy. You're very bad in Hindi. Spend some time.
I'm translating. I am very good with this Delhi wala Hindi. You want me to start?
Life will go on. I will never retire. I don't think I will ever retire.
No, you should never retire. I am also never going to retire.
Yeah.
I think we'll continue.
Yeah.
Some people follow a map, some people create one. The reason I'm really excited about my guest today on this beautiful new show, The New Business of Life with Mercedes-Benz, is because Aman Gupta, who's my guest, is no ordinary businessman, no ordinary entrepreneur. He's an unconventional guy. Many of you know him, obviously, with the big company he's founded called The Boat. It has a whole legion of supporters called boatheads. Maybe you're a boathead, I don't know. But more importantly, many people may find him one of India's most visible entrepreneurs, as that quirky judge on Shark Tank. Whichever be your way of knowing Aman Gupta, it is very unlikely that any of you don't know Aman Gupta, and that itself is his success story. A person who believes that his own visibility adds to his brand. A person who's used marketing to excel in product creation, but a person who always carries India close to his heart. In a way, Aman's story is far from complete. He's got many more journeys to go. But the one reason I am looking forward to this conversation is because Aman Gupta is a self-made man. I like self-made people. I like people who started from zero. I started from zero myself with absolutely nothing but a dream and an aspiration. And I like aspirational people. And that's why I think I'm going to love this conversation with Aman. So without boring you anymore with a long introduction, let me say, hello Aman, how are you?
Yeah, no, good to see you.
Good to see you, Aman. Good to see you, and you're looking good. And I'm glad to meet you in the heart of the national capital.
Yeah, it's different. I've never had an interview like this before.
Yes, it's different. We are standing here, and right behind us is the flyover that goes to Sarai Kale Khan. On that road side, that road goes to INA. You know, I used to live in Mayur Vihar. I used to drive down every single day to the first studio I worked at, which was at Greater Kailash.
Wow.
And NDTV, yes.
I was in Horsecars.
Yeah, you were in Horsecars.
Yeah.
We used to go to Horsecars for those beautiful sunny winter lunches.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll go one day.
Yeah, our office is there.
Yeah.
Horsecars Village. That's our office.
Still there?
Yeah.
Wow. So, Aman, you're a Delhi boy.
Yeah.
Tell me about yourself, something that I don't know right at the start.
Delhi boy, yeah. As you know, as I always say, you can. There's a line called "You can take a man out of Delhi." You know, Aman, a man, right? You can take a man out of Delhi, but you can't take a man out of Delhi. That's me. That's Aman. I'm a full-hearted Delhi boy, and wherever I've worked, whether it was JBL, Harman, their office was in Bangalore, but I told my boss I want to stay in Delhi.
Yeah.
So I've been wherever my co-founder Sameer, he is based out of Bombay, and I'm based out of Delhi. So even when it's been like more than 7-8 years, we've been in different cities. So I cannot go out of Delhi. I love Delhi so much.
Yeah. Well, what is it that has really made you, Aman, from where you started? Was I right in my introduction when I said you started from zero?
Yeah, it was. I would say I started from negative. I had like more negative because I had a few failed businesses. So I didn't start from a normal zero. I was very low, down under. And then God has been kind. Both heads have been kinder. And, both is touchwood doing whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to look forward to this chat. I'm going to drive you.
Oh wow, that should be fun.
I'm not the best driver around.
Yeah, and I'm so happy to see you in this attire.
God, should I start anchoring like this?
I wore a coat just because I thought I'm meeting you, and you are now in.
I surprised you.
I surprised you too.
I'm also a Delhi wala boy.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a bit about myself.
Yeah.
Which you may not know. I studied in Hindu college.
Acha, wow.
I used to live in a place called Bhai Parmanand Colony, which was behind Kingsway Camp, Mukherjee Nagar ke piche.
Acha.
Wahan pe 99% of the people who are in Bhai Parmanand Colony are preparing for UPSC.
Wow.
I was also supposed to be preparing for UPSC, but so I'm also a Delhi boy. I studied in Delhi, Mount St. Mary's, Delhi Kent, Hindu College.
Wow.
So worked here 10 years. So I have a lot of Delhi in me.
Correct.
So let's take a drive.
Yeah, let's
of Delhi, Aman.
Let's do that.
Let's take a drive. Ladies and gentlemen, we're taking Aman Gupta, the shark, for a long drive.
Yeah, let's go.
ऐसे ही करते होंगे ये ड्राइव
बटन नहीं है वहाँ यार he doesn't know how to drive what are you making me
चलो यार
चलती कैसे गाड़ी का स्विच
अभी चलो
जय माता दी
बंद करो
जय माता दी जय माता दी
ये हो रहा है कि नहीं चलो ये है ना चल रही है अमन shall we go अमन
लेट्स गो सर
चलो अमन
आपको गाड़ी चलाते हुए बैठ के
गाड़ी चलाते हुए don't worry I know how to drive the car I'm a master at this shall we start Aman so Aman are we ready to roll
absolutely sir
okay Raman so it's beautiful sunny winter early winter afternoon 12:30 in the afternoon on the streets of Delhi and Aman has trusted me in this car to roll around the streets of Delhi and he's been doing Jai Mata Di. Why, you have a problem with trust?
No, sir. It's okay. The way just got a little scared.
What are you scared of, Aman? Don't worry.
Nobody's,
You're perfectly safe.
Nobody's scared of you, sir. Nobody. Not even in the TV, sir. And when you say we watch you, we don't even watch you, sir. We hear you also, sir. We sell headphones. We amplify the sound, and you also are a perfect example of how sound can be amplified and seen and heard. Right?
Is that all you think about all the time?
No,
sound?
not at all. Yeah.
Huh? You think about sound all the time?
It's like it's in my खून, sir.
In what way?
सर हेडफोन बेचते हैं जहाँ देखो आते जाते हम मार्केटिंग करते रहते हैं अपनी हमारा सॉरी इन इंग्लिश इट्स लाइक क्या बोलते हैं वी सेल साउंड दैट्स आवर
स्टोरी बताओ अपनी टेल मी अबाउट योर स्टोरी अमन व्हेन डिड दिस ऑब्सेशन विद साउंड स्टार्ट
Sir, it is actually, I used to work with my dad earlier. When you were in NDTV, all the camera equipment and all the audio equipment was actually supplied by my dad.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Is that so?
These microphones we are wearing, these are Sennheiser microphones.
Okay.
And my dad used to supply these. So him and I, we started this company in 2004. Around that time. तब हम लोग we used to sell to NDTV and TV18 and TV Today and even to you guys now. So that was this thing, and then I joined. I did my MBA, went around, and I joined JBL, sir. JBL. Okay. Have you heard of JBL, sir?
Yes, of course. Because I'm not so. What do you think I am?
No, but don't buy them. But you can use. Good to know about them, but I was working there, sir. Just like you, and then I one day started thought of.
What were you working? What were you doing there? Sales?
So I was the director of sales there. So I was the head of sales.
You used to sell speakers?
Yes, headphones.
So what was your line you used when you sold something? Your product? You had a USP line for yourself?
For me?
Yeah, for the brand?
For the brand at Boat?
No.
At JBL?
At JBL.
Sir, अच्छा था sir. It was a known name. It was a good company. It's an international brand. It's very well known worldwide and it's a good opportunity. I'm very thankful and I learned a lot from there. And I have a line which I always say that they paid me to teach me how to be their competitor. And that's how
But that's true. No, when you know when you work for your competitor, you know every in and out of that company. You know what their weak points are. You know what their strengths are.
Absolutely.
I've applied the same thing in life myself.
Absolutely. You're also a startup entrepreneur.
It's difficult to beat someone if they worked in the company and know its ins and outs, because you don't just know their weak points, you also appreciate their strengths.
Absolutely.
It's important to appreciate your competitors' strengths, I think.
100%, sir. I also like some of them. Not most of them, but some of them I appreciate.
Then?
So, वहाँ से सर सीखा अच्छा और सिखाया और फिर आगे बढ़े और एक दिन हमने सोचा इंडिया चेंज हो रही है, हमने बोला चल अमन ट्राई कर देखा जाएगा.
Direct.
There's a story also when I told my boss sir मेरे पैसे बढ़ा दो, उन्होंने बढ़ाई नहीं तो मैंने बोला मार्केट में मिलते हैं सर.
मार्केट में मिलते हैं. Very aggressive. Very aggressive. चलिए मार्केट में.
Passionate sir, passionate.
Yeah.
So मार्केट में मिलते हैं सर. That's and then I started with Sunil we started Boat and.
So what did the boss say when you said market में मिलते हैं?
नहीं सर लोगों को ना शुरू में क्या होता है ना whenever a new company starts and especially when you're one of your employees lead then it's a different thing that people start thinking that कुछ नहीं कर पाएंगे types right छोटे से लोग हैं. It's also about sometimes David versus Goliath right where you don't think that any David can do anything to a Goliath. So sometimes what happens, and it was very 2000 I'm talking about 2015 16 people never expected a young small brand to start becoming known in the market.
This is just 10 years back?
Yeah.
You started 10 years back?
Yeah, we launched.
It's just been 10 years?
Yeah.
Just 10 years?
Yes, sir.
Incredible.
In 2016, and
Incredible. Beautiful. Good story.
So
It's an amazing story. By the way, Aman,
God has been kind.
I also left Times Now. I started Times Now on my own.
Yeah.
And I left in 2016. I launched the product in 2017.
Yes.
But I did not use this line. मुझे भी use करना चाहिए था. Market में मिलते हैं आपको. Is that how you say? आप देखो market में मिलते हैं. You have to say it in a particular tone.
It has to be said like
swag with swag.
Yeah.
हाँ?
ऐसे बढ़ा
Market में मिलते हैं. पैसे बढ़ाओ मगर market में मिलते हैं. I think you're better off with it. I sound very sort of, wannabe Aman Gupta.
No, not true.
Okay, so that's a good, fantastic line, And you ever thought that you'd feel like this celebrity when you were starting out your company, the celebrity thing about you? It's become huge, Aman.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of people on Shark Tank. No disrespect to the others.
Yeah.
Including
fine.
more controversial
It's
ones.
fine, you can.
No, anyway,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But you stand out, Aman.
That is it.
You stand out. What is the secret of standing out in that fishbowl of Shark Tank?
Yeah.
What made you stand out, Aman? Change your life? How did it start? Tell us about it. And you've given a lot of time to it.
Yeah.
And you're sort of this role model. Many people watching today will be watching to know you as a role model because of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Not just because of boat.
100%, sir.
Am I right?
100%.
Am I overstating it? Or?
No, you're absolutely right, sir. There is no.
If I park the car anywhere right now, people will know you for Shark Tank and then for boats.
Yeah. You're right, sir.
Am I right?
Absolutely.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, Aman?
Sir, Rita, I'll tell you, sir. You asked me, when you were starting this conversation, Abhi, you said, did you expect this to happen? Did you work towards it? Sir, I think my personal view is that I always say that I never thought that boat will be as big as it is today.
You never thought?
Yeah, no, I never thought that boat will be number one in India in audio for last few quarters. Never thought that I will be a known face. It's like I never thought people will love me or they will be an entrepreneur can be a celebrity. We were not born like that in an era where people did not come for selfies for entrepreneurs. I was born in an era where I used to take selfies from Bollywood people. Right? Bollywood used to be one thing which used to inspire a lot of us in India. हम लोग बॉलीवुड के पीछे भागते थे सर, क्रिकेट के पीछे भागते थे. Entrepreneurship के पीछे कौन भागता था सर? ऐसा नहीं था. Entrepreneurship never used to be positive. It used to be more negative. अभी ये बहुत सही हुआ है that people now, I think post Shark Tank also, a little bit has, this coming on TV has helped that people are saying यार entrepreneurs भी बन सकते हैं. Entrepreneurship can also be celebrated. और US वगैरह में था सर. If you see Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, people used to,
था 15 साल पहले था. उससे पहले वहाँ पे भी ऐसा नहीं था. वहाँ पे there was institutionalized business. See Ford, General Electric, Rolls Royce. These are institutional businesses. This is not the dream business of a person who stands out on his own. Entrepreneurship is also singular. Entrepreneurship is individual based. Am I right?
No, but
and individual ambition as well.
But India में फिर भी हमें मार्क जुकरबर्ग पता था कौन है. We used to know Steve Jobs कौन थे. But India में नहीं होता था. India में entrepreneurs को नहीं celebrate करते थे because एक saying थी सर कि businessman चोर होता है. ये बहुत बड़ी एक mental होता है कि business कर रहा है, पैसे बना रहा है, तो चोरी करके बना रहा हो. वो change हुआ है सर. अगर आप if you see in the last few years, it has changed a lot. And now I'm very happy that now young people want to be entrepreneurs. They come to me and there's so many parents and who say, yeah, my daughter is your fan or my son is your fan and they want to be like you, they want to be entrepreneurs. So it's a positive change for the society, sir.
But थोड़ा सा इसमें सवाल ये भी है that this is a show we talk about the new business of life. So every episode for me and for the viewers is a learning experience. I want it to be not just another podcast kind of conversation. I want to be somewhere that we take away. Now, so I am a person who can challenge you on that prism as well because I am also an entrepreneur. So I want to challenge you on that. My point is that, when I started out as an entrepreneur, right, I was already in my early 40s. Okay. And once you're 40 plus, being an entrepreneur is not a very cool thing. You did it at a much earlier age. But the bottom line is this, Aman, that I had 19-20 years of work experience behind me. I learned the in and out of the media industry, of the news business. I was a reporter. I used to run around people with mics. I've edited stories. I've anchored shows. I've done the back end. I've done the hard work. I've called people for my show. I used to call people. You know, Mr. Pramod Mahajan, can you come on my show? 100%. You know, I used to call people. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi had come on my show many times. I used to call, you know, can you come on our show? So we've done the back end. We've done the grind. Now, Aman, the problem is that entrepreneurship has become so in that people are forgetting about the grind. You know, you need to have some what you call classically domain experience to be able to आप जो line देते हो ना, I'll meet you in the market. It's not just a line. It's also because you know the market.
Correct.
What about people who don't know the market? They want to be entrepreneur day one. Is that a good thing? Would you take a 20-year-old without any life experience, without any knowledge, without any domain experience in the market and say, "Chalo bacha, be an entrepreneur"? Will you do that? Come on, give me an honest reply.
Honest sir,
honest to goodness God
मैं बताता हूँ sir.
बताओ.
You asked me whether you know आपने एक चीज बोली थी कि why do people like me on the show, right? Apart from why did I get into who I was and why do people like me? The answer is sir, मैं जो हूँ ना मैं सामने हूँ. I don't have any diplomacy in me. मैं जो बोलना होता है मैं बोल देता हूँ. You know whether
तो अभी भी बिंदास बोलो.
Half of people like me for this, half of people hate me for this.
चलो कोई नहीं. You are with me, आप बोलो.
हाँ मैं बोल देता हूँ.
मैं भी ऐसे ही हूँ.
So which is what I think today's generation also loves. Yes, it has to be very authentic on who you are, right? That's love about.
अभी आंसर दो. You're sitting with me.
सर वो कोई फोटो लेने लगा
वो तो आप
confuse हो गए.
ये problem है आपका.
नहीं वो कोई आ गया.
Driving with you that's the problem. See, that's also something. By the way, viewers, I'm driving in Delhi with Delhi wala boy Aman Gupta, who is too busy waving to his fans than talking to me. Please come down to earth, Aman.
Yes, sorry, sir.
You're on my show.
I forgot.
This is not your show.
I forgot, sir. India wants to know.
This is my show.
Yes, sir.
Stop waving to your fans. Be modest.
अभी बाद में बात करेंगे.
अरे आप politician हो. आप politician हो. आप ये क्या कर रहे हो?
अरे सर,
this is too much.
आपने बोला humble हो, मैं humble हो रहा हूँ.
क्या पता चांदनी चौक से it will be Aman Gupta fighting the election.
My dad used to be from there. So your question, sir, 20-year-old. I love these 20-year-olds. आपको सच
You
बता
love
रहा हूँ
what?
I feel that the new India, sir, आप सही बताऊँ 21 साल तो बहुत मतलब आजकल तो बड़ी एज हो गई है बिजनेस स्टार्ट करने के लिए. I am starting to see people at 15 who are starting businesses.
Is that a good thing?
It is a very good thing, sir.
कैसे अमन?
क्यों नहीं सर जिसको
You are what domain expertise do you have? Suppose somebody wants to start a business in earphones.
Yeah.
At 15.
Apart from earphones, please start it. Don't look at this.
Suppose somebody wants to start a news network at 15.
He will. He can.
Shut up. Shut up.
Earphone start करा दो. News network में करा दो.
Chalo, suppose somebody wants to start anything else.
But I'll see you. Serious
manufacturing. Serious note. Serious.
Sir, पता है क्या होता है? These people will talk in a language which the young will understand. ठीक है? सपोज वो कुछ भी स्टार्ट करेंगे ना सर, उन्हें ये पता है कि जो यंग लोगों को क्या चाहिए. आजकल उनकी जनरेशन